Greetings! How's it going, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about Superman! That's right! We're flying high into the sky with the man with the big S on his chest. We're going to talk about all the things. We're going to talk about Superman. We're going to talk about Lois Lane, bald heads. As you can see, I got my Lex Luthor look on right now. Look at it. I mean, I got Superman's shirt on, but the Lex Luthor bald head, I'm rocking that style right now. So if you want to hear what we have to say, sit back, relax, grab a snack, grab a beverage, and listen on in to the first ones to die.
Hey everyone, welcome to the First Ones to Die podcast. Alex, don't you start with this. My name is Jonathan, and now you done threw me off. Alex, how's it going with you?
Apparently real good, because he can't stop laughing.
Oh my god, I'm completely sober, by the way. I'm not anything smoked, eaten, drank.
we are.
I don't know
we
why
are
I'm
at that
laughing so
point.
hard.
We are at that point in the day for Alex.
It's only Tuesday, man.
7:30 on a Tuesday.
I'm good. Oh my god, it is 7:30. I've been good. A lot has happened since the last time we saw each other because we went a couple weeks. 4th of July happened. I got injured. I fell pretty badly. I got in crutches for a while. Yeah. So
wait,
my
you
dumbass
injured yourself on 4th of July? Sorry.
Yeah, on 4th of July.
Wait, but we've seen each other since then, haven't we?
No. In fact,
We did trivia.
We were supposed
you did trivia
to.
before 4th of July, and it's mad
What?
confusing that the episode wouldn't come out till literally the following Monday. And then here we go on the episode. Have a great 4th of July weekend, everybody. It's like, bitch, I already had the 4th of July weekend.
It's already been done with. But yeah, no, I fell on 4th of July. I was walking, so we were leaving. We rented a pool. Me and my sister.
Wait,
and
are
some
you
of her
sure
people.
we met after 4th of July? I mean,
I'm
before 4th
positive
of
we
July?
met before 4th of July. Yes.
What?
We didn't meet last Sunday?
No, we didn't meet last
No.
week at all. No, last Sunday I got injured again. So I know we.
That Sunday I hung out with I didn't do anything because I hung out with my family the whole weekend on July 4th, and 5th. So yeah.
Why did it feel like we just... Anyway, Alex, sorry.
Are
Go
you
ahead.
saying that like you feel like we're spending too much time with each other? Because that's what it's
No.
feeling like now. Like I'm
Apparently
feeling a
not
little
enough
hurt.
because Jonathan
We
can't
clearly-
even remember all of the times we spend.
Yeah, he's like, oh, we just hung out last week. We don't need to keep seeing each other. It's fine. I'm already crying. It's okay. Just making it
No.
into sad tears.
I guess my week just... I don't even remember what I did last week. Dang. It's adulthood. See, Jerome, once you turn 30, you'll know. The weeks just fly by.
Yeah.
Hey, Alex.
No, I got injured coming out of pool, and I got more injured than I thought. Ended up having to go to like the ER a couple days later because I like bruised a tendon really bad.
Oh,
so they put me on
jeez.
crutches for a few days, and I had
do
to
it.
stay home. Yeah, but then I was like fine. The stupid thing was I got out of the pool because we were ready to all leave, and I didn't notice. So the pool kind of had it came in where the steps were, and then it moved out a little bit. So what looked like, it kept going. It actually moved out a little bit. It's hard to explain, but easy to see. I got out of the pool to go grab my glasses, and that's why I didn't see that there was the pool ended where it did, and I fell into it. Was because I got out
the Velma and hurt yourself.
Yeah.
In the pool.
Do they
Yeah,
make...
I scraped up my
jeez.
hand pretty badly.
Do they make like swimming glasses? Like,
But I'm not
under-
wearing those.
They do make goggles that have prescription lenses, I think.
One, my prescriptions are too thick. That would cost me a fortune. And two, I say this as nicely as I can, but I'm not that big of a fucking nerd to wear those goggles with prescriptions, okay?
See, you're just like Cyclops, okay? You know who Cyclops is from the X-Men? All right.
The dude with the red thing.
Cyclops' whole power is the reason his powers work the way they do. Because, see, the thing is, most people know about the visor, but what they don't know is that without the glasses that he wears or the visor, he would literally continuously shoot laser beams out of his eyes consistently. Depending on the canon, the rule is that he had a brain injury when he was a baby, and so that's why his powers don't work the way they're supposed to. Anyway, so Scott constantly in multiple comics and stuff, people have taken Scott's glasses and he shoot beams out of his eyes that could possibly kill somebody. And Pete Holmes did a comedy sketch called X-Men, EX-Men, in which it's about Professor X firing various members of the X-Men. And he fires Cyclops. And he's like, Cyclops, do you realize that you are the most dangerous person in the whole team? Do you even have a chain on your glasses that in case they fall off, you could quickly get them back? And his response is, no, that wouldn't look cool. And while Cyclops in the comics has never said that, I'm sure he believes that. And I'm like, and that is why your coolness should put everyone else at risk, Scott.
First of all, my coolness
danger should not
only
be
puts myself in danger.
Cool.
My coolness only endangers myself, which, being me, I'm a danger to myself at all times.
What if you did have Cyclops' powers, Alex? Would you wear them then?
Why are people getting in my way? Why are people touching me? First of all, that is a big problem there. People are going to learn you don't touch me. If I got Cyclops' power, they're going to learn real quick. All right, then I won't need a chain. Just saying. But, and then on this upcoming Sunday, I was walking my sister's dog, Winnie, and ironically, I was telling her to be careful because she was walking really fast down some steps. And I'm like, oh, you're going to trip, you're going to fall. And my ass fell. And I guess I fell harder than I guess I fell harder than I thought because 3 people came up to me and were like, are you okay? Are you okay? And this one couple came from like a little bit of a distance, I feel like. And the one was like, we saw you fall. Are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine. And then I was like, am I okay though? Because like that many people coming up to you, how hard did I hit the ground? To me, it was like, I fell fine. But like, it must have looked like I hit that ground hard for so many people to be actually concerned for me that hard.
Hey, it's good that people were concerned and nobody laughed.
Yeah.
Guess, you know.
Are you okay officially?
I mean,
like right now?
I mean, I'm in what capacity? Physically, mentally, like both? Like what are we just like? I'm like okay in a general stance of like I can go and take care of things myself, and I will go to work tomorrow. That level, are we good with that level? Okay.
Okay, if you're good with it, I'm great with it.
I think that's the level of acceptance I have accepted.
Jonathan's like, look, if you like it, we
you
love
like it. I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you be supportive. That's a good supportive friend there. If I like it, you love it. But yeah, that's been my couple weeks. Other than that, I haven't done much. Oh, well, Jonathan, you saw it too, but I got to see another unseen movie at AMC, which I ended up loving. And I got the actress completely wrong. It's Oh Hi. And that's spelled O-H space H-I exclamation point. It is such a good movie. It's like 90 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's a short film. And I don't know how to describe it without like ruining it. But
Spoiling
basically, you
it.
know, like a couple goes on a retreat.
Is it a short film or is it a movie that has a short runtime?
It's
a movie
that has a short runtime.
Okay, got it.
I would say.
How would you describe it?
I would say it is because when I was watching it, I was like, what kind of movie? What genre of movie is this? I would say it's like a romantic comedy with a thriller aspect.
Yeah,
that's how I thought it.
I thought it was going to turn into a horror film real quick. There's like a moment where you're like, oh shit, is this actually a horror film? But it ends up not being. It is more on the thriller side, but very heavy on the comedy side. The movie is basically, in the lowest way I can describe this, women are crazy, men ain't shit. That's the
John
best way I
Lennon's
could
in this
describe the whole
movie.
movie.
I love him.
Yeah. So the woman, what's
Great.
her name? What's her name?
Molly
The actress.
Gordon.
Who also
I
like
thought
she
you-
wrote the movie too, I think.
She's great.
Did
I
she?
like Molly Gordon and everything I've ever seen her in. I don't remember her often, like as far as her name, but I like her as an actress.
I kept looking at her the entire movie and I was like, oh, who is she? Who is she? I recognize her. Could not recognize her. And then it hit me. I was like, oh, she's Abby from like, shit.
Broad
what's
City.
The show called? Yeah, Broad City. I was like, that's Abby. That's Abby. Her mannerisms are. It's not. That is not
And
Abby.
then-
Not
and
even.
There's
then-
also
and then-
Claire
and then-
in The Bear.
Wait, that's
Claire is Carmi's girlfriend.
uh,
Well, I guess
Um,
ex-girlfriend. I haven't watched the newest season yet, so I don't know if they got back together. But they were a thing in the show, and she was great in the show too, even though she wasn't in it very much. But still.
it was funny because Alex, you texted me and told me that like, oh, that's Abby from Broad City, and I was like, oh, I knew her from somewhere, and then you were like, nope, wrong white person.
She looks insanely like her. Her mannerisms, her voice, and everything. I was like, that's Abby. That's got to be Abby from Broad City. Nope. They're not even related. Like, I did a deep dive. I was like, they got to be related. They got to be from the same city. They got to have some family connection, something in their bloodline. Nothing. I was
Hey.
completely and utterly wrong. Not even from families or not even from the same city.
But look at this, Geraldine Viswanathan, though. She's also in this movie, and she's batting 1,000 because she's in this, and she's in Thunderbolts also. That also came out this year. So he's doing good.
Yeah, she was good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'll tack it on to yours as well. I enjoyed this movie a lot. Like this might be in my end of year 2025 look back. Yeah, I just had
Wow,
such a fun
it's
time
that
with
good,
it.
huh?
No,
Yeah.
I agree. Actually, same for me. It was like I was worried because like all the previews, which I didn't know there was going to be previews. Sorry about that. I told you there.
It's fine. I was sitting
There
there like,
wasn't.
oh, maybe it's just one or two. No, it was a full.
Yeah,
it was
I
a
was
full
like-
25 minutes of previews.
Yeah, my bad. They didn't do that for the other one. But I saw all the previews, and I don't know what your previews were, but mine were all westerns. Like it was
It was
heavy on
pretty
the
much
western
that.
file.
I had so this was my first time going to the Screen Unseen, and I was looking on Reddit to see what people's like experiences were with Screen Unseen, and someone said that because I think because I couldn't get like a conclusive answer, so after I looked on Reddit to see the preview thing, and then I asked you, and people on Reddit were like, oh, one of the previews that they showed was the movie that we saw. So I'm like, oh, is that going to happen this time? So I was trying to guess like which movie out of these previews it was going to be, and they ended up not showing that, the preview for the movie we watched, which I appreciated.
So, my theater had to change. Like the theater I go to had to change theaters where they were showing the movie. So all the seats got mixed up. I got placed somewhere I didn't like, but I was like, whatever. And I texted my mom. I was like, hey, I was supposed to be in this seat in this theater, but now I'm in this theater in this seat. Because unfortunately, in today's world, you don't know what's going to happen. And if the thing I have on my phone says I'm in this theater on this seat, and unfortunately something does happen, incorrect theater, incorrect seat. So I texted my mom. I was like, hey, this is a change. Just to give you a heads up if anything happens. I also then texted her because everybody was still coming in through the previews, trying to find their seats. It was a little weird. I was like, I see a lot of Western previews. I'm like, this has me worried because I'm like, I don't really like Westerns. I don't really want to sit through a Western movie. And I was like, and it'd be awkward just to, get up and leave too because the theater was so crowded and it's a small
mine
theater.
Was too. It's packed.
Yeah. It was such a small theater, so it's like you move, people are gonna look at you. So I was like, oh shit, okay. So I was so excited that it was not a Western. Yeah, it ended up being so much funny. It was so good. I recommend it to you, Jerome. I think you'd love it. I loved
Same.
it. Felt like an audience participation movie. There is a certain, when I say men ain't shit, there was a scene where the guy was being basically an asshole. The
Little
girl was
Mermaid.
crazy, yeah. Where everybody in the theater was like, he kept talking and everybody was like, oh, no, oh, like just really getting into the film after when they're having their first argument, just everybody was into it, and it was just so much fun. That was a great experience to have with the theater as well. It wasn't like distracting or anything. Everybody was just so like, yes, this is terrible. Why would he keep talking? In the situation you're in, shut up.
I'm thank you for recommending the Screen Unseen, Alex, because I don't think I would have watched that movie had I not been forced to watch it, essentially.
I honestly didn't remember. I had seen like the like the thumbnail for the trailer. I didn't even watch the trailer, but I when you said it, I was like, oh yeah, I've heard of this movie, but I don't know anything about it. So
I think it comes out next week.
It's out now.
Next weekend.
Or it's going to be out soon anyway. I know there's already showtimes. When I looked up on Google, it was showtimes already that you can.
There might be.
Oh no, you're right.
Soon.
For July 24th.
Do you want to go to?
That's the first showtime.
Do you want to go to one, Jerome? There's one on your birthday, and it's a horror one.
Oh yeah, they have a. Oh yeah, that's right. They have one on the 21st and on the 20. Do they do it every Monday?
No, they're supposed to do it every like first week of the Monday, but I guess there's a lot of movies coming out. I don't know. Jerome, do you want to go?
We
or
will
just
see.
going for Korean barbecue?
I may have to have something to do on that day that I won't talk about on the podcast, but I'll tell you later.
Well, we were supposed to go for Korean barbecue, but that's fine.
No, this is not a friend's
No, it's okay.
outing.
No, it's okay. It's okay. No, it's fine.
This is something that involving family.
No, it's fine. All right. No, I know where I stand now. It's okay. Jonathan, how are you doing? What are you doing?
I see how it is.
I'm doing good. I guess I can talk about my 4th of July events because we haven't seen each other since then. New to me. But I did look up when I uploaded the trivia, and it was on July 3rd. But anyways, 4th of July was fun.
Hold on, did you just check?
I did because I was going crazy. I just wanted to see what day we actually recorded on.
I can't believe you fact checked us.
Hey, I said you were right. Take the W.
It feels like a hollow victory. I don't know. Maybe I'm just hurt. I'm coming into this podcast personally hurt by both of you. Getting fact checked and rescheduled. No, it's okay.
But the 4th was good. Went over to a friend's house. They were dog sitting for this older couple, and they had like a backyard and a pool and stuff. So we hung out there. The day after, saw some friends who I had met at this year's Coachella, and we went to like this kind of day party thing in Santa Monica, which was super fun. And normally I'm not like the day party type, but this one was fun. It was an all white party, so we got dressed in all our white, and we had a good time. This past week saw AMC Seen Unscreen, or Unscreen. Seen, what is it? Screen Unseen.
Screen Unseen, yeah.
Screen Unseen. And then this Friday, or this Saturday, I went and saw the movie that we are going to talk about today on the podcast. Sunday, Love Island. It was the finale of Love Island.
I just can't. I'm tired. I don't even know what's going on, and my For You page is filled with people who can't stop talking about the Love Island drama, and I'm just sitting here like a person who's like, I'm just here, like Will Smith in that episode of Fresh Prince, like, I was just sitting here eating my damn fruit. Why are you yelling at me? Trying to tell me about stuff I know nothing about. I don't watch the show. What's going on?
But it was good. The finale was the finale was all right. This season has been all over the place. But
did they kill each other?
To a watch party.
It sounds like they were intending to kill each other.
They almost tried to drown the black girl. But
from all the drama I've heard, it sounds like they all want to murder each other at this point.
Wait, go back. They tried to drown the black girl? Why?
No,
How?
Joking. She because Because at the end, when they like crown the winner and everything, they all jump in the pool, and she was wearing like a tight dress, so she looked like she was about to drown.
Oh,
Okay, but it was Huda there? I've heard about this Huda. I don't know who she is, but I've heard she's problematic and people don't like her.
I don't know if I feel comfortable saying my Huda thoughts on the internet because she has some fans.
I think that was enough right there.
Fair enough.
But
is there a girl named Christy as well? Is that a person?
Christy.
There's somebody with a C.
Pretty sure he's just naming people.
Oh, you mean Shelly?
Yeah, that's
the black girl.
Shelly. Okay, yeah, I heard there was also drama with the black one. Is she the only one on the cast who's black? Is that what it was?
No, there was Shelly and Ace, and they were a couple. They got sent home right before the finale.
Okay.
And then Olandria is another.
That's
black
the
girl
name. Yeah, the Olandria, which sounds like a very expensive liquor. I heard there's drama with her too.
There wasn't too much drama with her, but her and Nick, he was a white guy who was like coupled up with this one girl for like the whole season. And then in first place was Amaya and Brian. And Amaya, people nickname her Amaya Papaya because she's like very like bubbly and like feisty and like will stand up for herself. And Brian came in halfway through the season and like stood up for her at one point. The first Latino couple to win in Love Island history. They're both Dominican.
Oh, neat. Well,
How do you
now they can finally
win?
greenlit.
Like, what does that mean to win?
Good point. What do
Like,
they win?
like,
exactly?
do the okay, quick. Do the couples come in together to Love Island like they're already partnered, or is it like they hook up on Love Island and then like what the ones who like are favorable what is this winning?
Everyone wins and everyone meets. Or sorry, not everyone wins. Everyone meets there, so like it's all strangers theoretically. Like some of them know each other because they're all like social media. For the most part, a lot of the people are social media famous, which fans have an issue with.
Yeah,
but
makes sense.
But they're all like strangers, and then they meet there and couple up and form connections there. And at the end, there's 4 couples remaining, and America votes on which couple they want to win. So then there's 4th place, 3rd place, 2nd place, and then the winner, the winning couple gets $100,000, and then
a guaranteed breakup.
Sometimes, but Ariana, the host, she gives the envelopes.
The Bows?
No.
Oh.
Maddox. You remember Scandival?
Yes.
Have you heard of it?
Kind of.
Ariana's the girl that got cheated on by Tom Sandoval.
Right.
And she went on to host Love Island.
Okay.
She gives each person in the couple an envelope. One has $100,000, one has $0, and it's up to the person who gets the $100,000 envelope to decide whether or not they want to split it with their partner.
See, so guaranteed breakup. That's what I said.
Sometimes.
I mean, I'd keep the money anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was it for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's been my last almost 2 weeks. Jerome, how's your almost 2 weeks been?
Busy. I'm ready to go back into my hibernation chamber. I had 4th of July was great. Had some family come over from South Carolina. My cousin and my uncle, and also my second cousin, who is the daughter of my cousin, was also here. She's super cute. It was fun to hang out with her. I haven't seen her for a while. Last time I saw her, she was 6. So it's been quite a time, and she's so big now. But she had a great time. We did a lot of fun things. We launched fireworks on the 4th of July. Or I'm sorry, did I say launch fireworks? I meant, went to war because it felt like being in a damn war zone. because we went to the right next to the Muckleshoot Casino where you can fire fireworks legally in like a big old field, but everybody's out there and they have a dedicated section for the bigger fireworks. And down there, fireworks are everywhere, on the ground, in the sky, everywhere. And even the little, a few of the little like things they made, like the guys had caught on fire. It really felt like you were down in the trenches, like, God damn it, boy, light the fuse. Like, just trying to survive out here, not get lit up. I almost had a firework light off my like right next to my pant leg, because the dude lit it, and then I backed up, and he was like, "No, it's right beneath you." I'm like, "What?" Yeah. Had to dive out.
Oh
the
wait,
way.
that happened to me at the pier on Sunday. That's another. I fell again at the pier. I didn't fall. No, this is after I fell. Sorry. So some assholes on the pier, on the very busy pier in Seattle by the big wheel, lit off fireworks when I was walking Winnie, and literally right as we got across the street, freaked her out. So my ass trying to calm her down, but they were like right here. They were just right next to us, so close. I have to pick up this like 60-pound Samoyed that is literally as tall as me, grab her, throw her over my shoulder, and run as I'm walking with a busted up knee and a busted up hand, because I did hit the ground pretty hard. Running with her freaking out. I looked ridiculous. And I was telling my coworkers this story. They're like, "You should see if anybody was recording you." And I was like, "Excuse me?" She was like, "Yeah, you were just running with the giant dog in your arms, man."
Point.
That's she's like, "Everybody records everything." She's like, "You should type in Seattle girl running with Samoyed or something." And I was like, I swear to God, if that's actually a video out in this world, I don't know what I'll do. Cry? I'm on that verge.
Sometimes that's the thing to worry about nowadays, because it's like, that's why I even when I think that I'm doing my own thing, I'm minding my own business, and maybe I do something embarrassing, or even if I don't, like if I pick my nose or something, I could end up trending on TikTok.
Hey, listen, like sometimes it makes for some funny moments. My favorite is a dude who used his doorbell cam to catch a guy trying to steal his package, and he roasted the shit out of that dude. My favorite is when he's saying like backpack for Dora the Explorer, talking about some like because he was like, because the second he grabbed the package, he's like, "And that's why you fat." Because he's a heavier dude. He told us, "So yeah, no, go ahead and get the package. Go ahead and get the package. I know you need it. There's snacks in there." Like, what? You probably think there's snacks in there. Go ahead and take the package with your big back self. Big back. just kept
I saw that
going. I was like, God damn. At this point, just take the package. Like, because you already done took a L. He's roasting the hell out of you. Right? And he's standing
so
there
slowly away, too.
Yeah, he's standing
really
there taking
so
it.
slowly away. And it's like, dude, you were ready to run. Now you're just like sulking. What?
Because he got demoralized at that point. All right, he came there to steal a package, not to get verbally abused like this. Verbally assaulted.
Anyway, continue. That's all I had to say. I'm running around. Now I kind of want to look to see if because people record on the pier all the time, too. And I bet some fuckers were recording those fireworks. Oh, shit. There might be a video of me running with a giant-ass Samoyed. That's actually plausible. We were so close. Oh. You go ahead with your story. I'm going to take a quick search.
But yeah, so we had fun. Took her to a trampoline park. She had a fun time at the trampoline park. We went to the Sky Zone at Montlake Terrace. It's actually pretty cool in there. There's tons of stuff for kids to do. I'm sure adults too, but it's mainly for kids, of course. And then this past week, of course, saw the movie that we're talking about later in this episode, and also went to a local event here in Seattle called For the Locals, which was like an R&B event where I got to meet a few of the local R&B artists out here. So that was pretty cool. Big shout out to them. And then went to the Shibuya Hi-Fi Lounge and listened to Leon Thomas's Mutt album and SZA's Control album on vinyl in a beautiful, like if you live in the Washington area and you've never been to the Shibuya Lounge, I can't recommend it enough. If you love music, and especially love vinyl, and you want to hear it on a studio level sound system in a quiet room with beautiful acoustics, great vibe, go to the Shibuya Lounge. It's great. They play the whole vinyl record. But it's great. If you haven't been, please go. I can't recommend it enough. And then went on a hike to Rattlesnake Ridge with my cousin.
Did you see any rattlesnakes?
No, I did not. I did see myself eat shit on the way down because I was wearing running shoes.
So everybody was falling?
And the gravel. It was gravelly, okay? The gravel had me slipping.
Gravity was heavier this week.
Right. It wasn't the gravel. It was the gravity.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But it was a good hike. It was a great workout. My glutes and my thighs and my calves were feeling it the next day because this steep incline up that hill to the Rattlesnake Ledge. We only went to the ledge, so it's about like a 1.3 mile hike up, and then another 1.3 miles coming down. But it's always easier coming back down. But it was great. I was glad to do it. And then as far as entertainment stuff goes, I watched. I've been really enjoying the Trainwreck series on Netflix as of late. I've been really digging what they're doing with it. At first, I thought it was just going to be a one-off with Woodstock 99 because I love that documentary series. I think they did a great job with that. But this year, they've been on a roll, just consistently putting out episodes of Trainwreck. First, they put out the Astroworld mini doc to explain that catastrophe. Then they put out the one about the mayor in Toronto. They did the one about the Carnival cruise ship where all those people got stuck and they called it poop. All the poop stuff happened. They called poop cruise.
I saw that people talking about it, about how some of the interviewers were like, I had to poop in a bag and blah blah blah, and I would just hold it. Be like, you're stuck in the middle of the sea, sir. You think pooping in a bag is your biggest problem? The engines have stalled. You don't know if they're gonna move.
Well,
pooping in the bag is your
yes
problem.
And no, because the whole because not everybody was following that rule, and so it started becoming a biohazard with how much poop.
That's the issue.
Not pooping in bags.
That was the thing. People were like, I'm going to just poop in the toilet or I'm going to hold it. It's like, no, that is the least of your problems. You need to understand that. You need to understand the gravity of the situation. But of course, people rarely do until after the aftermath. But sorry, continue.
Yeah, so they just released one about Project X, like the real Project X of the Project X party that happened in Amsterdam after the movie had came out, and the craziness with that. They're releasing another one about the balloon boy, the kid stuck in that balloon that was flying in the air, and then they also got another one coming about the cult of American Apparel. So they've been on a roll this year with just documentary, and they're pretty short. They're most of them are 30, 40 minutes. I will admit the Astroworld one was really illuminating to find out how that happened, because I remember when it happened and I remember hearing the story, but I was like, how? This is Astroworld 3. How did it get this bad? Compared to the first 2 years. I mean, it's always been crazy.
There's an Astroworld. Sorry, I was trying to kill a fly. There's an Astroworld. If you saw my screen move, because it was on my screen. There's an Astroworld documentary on Netflix.
Yeah, Trainwreck. So Trainwreck, that series, they did one on the Astroworld disaster that happened. That was the last Astroworld event that Travis Scott did a couple of years back. I think 20. I want to say 2019 maybe or 2020, something like that. It was somewhere in there. They address first of all how the people who died, and also where it went wrong as far as the organization and Live Nation's involvement in it going the way it did. But they've been they're pretty decent documentaries. Oh yeah, and then they also have one coming out, Alex, that you might like to see, is about storming Area 51. Doing an episode on that. And
I
how
love
that
there
went.
was actually a military. There was a military meeting about the Naruto run.
But yeah, so if you haven't watched Trainwreck, any of the Trainwreck episodes, or like, because they're all like singular individual little things in Netflix for some reason, instead of just being under one thing called Trainwreck, and it's just these are multiple series. I don't know why. But if you haven't seen any of the Trainwreck documentaries, I can't recommend them enough. If for my money, I think the best ones are the Woodstock 99 one is really good, like a really great breakdown, and Astroworld's pretty good, and I would say Real Project X is fun just to like see the like reenactments that explain kind of the situation. But it was really scary. Luckily, nobody died, but it got kind of crazy with that scenario. So watch Trainwreck if you get a chance. Any of them, anyone that just piques your interest. And then also, we may talk about this on the episode, so I'm not going to get into too much detail. But I also saw the newest sensation sweeping the nation, K-pop Demon Hunter. It's a jam. Animation's great. Music's great. Storyline's pretty good. I'm fairly certain that it's doing so well, Netflix is going to be like, all right, K-pop Demon Hunter 2, let's do it. So, but it's a very fun movie. I'm glad it's doing well. I'm glad the kids are loving it. The adults are loving it. And if you're a big K-pop fan, you'll especially love it. So K-pop Demon Hunters, if you haven't watched it yet, check it out. It's a fun time. Also on Netflix. And then I don't have much media news. I know we normally have a good chunk of media news for these episodes. But today we've only got one major thing and one minor thing. First, the minor thing is we got a state of play. PlayStation does these state of play like mini press conferences throughout the year to announce like minor games, sometimes to show off like a singular game. And this time they showed off a singular game, Ghost of Yotei, which looks awesome. Only reason I'm talking about it here is because, number one, it's a sequel to one of the biggest games of a couple years back, Ghost of Tsushima, which is a great samurai game. But also the Ghosts of series, because I guess if you want to call it that, have always been really cool about paying homage to the cinematics of Japan. Ghost of Tsushima, so much so that in that game you can play a version of the game called Kurosawa mode, in which the movie becomes black and white, has kind of a filter on all the vocals that sounds like it's an old Kurosawa movie from back in, I believe, the 60s is when he was making movies. Akira Kurosawa, by the way, if you don't know who he is, he was a
you're getting a little muffled.
Sorry, I might also be talking a bit fast, so that's on me. Sorry, he's actually been making movies in the like all throughout the years, 60s, 80s, 50s. But he was a very influential Japanese director, so much so that he's inspired other directors like Quentin Tarantino. And they say Yojimbo is one of the biggest inspirations for Star Wars. Was that, and also inspired other movies like Seven Samurai, inspired The Magnificent Seven. So Kurosawa is awesome. Ghost of Yotei has expanded on that to have other modes in its game that also pay homage to directors of like from Japan. Hold on, let me make sure I get it right, because I want to make sure that I don't want to miss what they're all called and who they honor. So we have the Kurosawa mode is back. We have Miike mode, inspired by Takashi Miike, which brings the camera closer during combat, increases blood and mud splatter, which is another type of Japanese filmmaking style. And Watanabe mode, which I'm excited for, which honors Shinichiro Watanabe, who is the creator for things like Samurai Champloo and Cowboy Bebop, but Samurai Champloo in particular, because this mode replaces the soundtrack of the game with lo-fi music, which is was the big claim to fame for Samurai Champloo, and that Samurai Champloo was the first Japanese thing to kind of take the lo-fi genre into the mainstream, because that whole show has lo-fi music as part of its soundtrack. So you can play this samurai-esque game with lo-fi music. So Ghost of Yotei, it looks exciting, it looks cool, has a female samurai / mercenary protagonist. It's fun. I can't wait for it to come out. Comes out later this year, October 2nd. And then major news for some people, I don't know who, but it's because I honestly forgot this movie was coming out. But Red Sonja, the remake, is finally coming out. Now, for those who don't know who Red Sonja is a character who is a side character to Conan the Barbarian, a character made extremely famous through Arnold Schwarzenegger's portrayal of the character. But Red Sonja has also become a famous character in her own right. I hate to say it, mostly because of her very, very iconic costume. I will share my screen so you know who I'm talking about. So this is Red Sonja. Here's the movie poster for the new film. But this is Red Sonja. Her iconic bikini, diamond costume has been all throughout the comics for decades, and she's grown a popularity since then of this female barbarian warrior, badass, and had many renditions of her comics all throughout the years. Here's the poster of the original Red Sonja with Arnold Schwarzenegger, who also starred in the movie at that time because it was a spinoff of Conan the Barbarian. Well, now they've made a remake, a new adaptation starring, I think is it Madison Lutz? Is that her name? Matilda Lutz. My bad. Matilda Lutz. As the titular character. It looks actually very B-movie. It doesn't look bad. It just looks very, very okay. I don't know if it's going to be good or not, but still, as far as comic book adaptations,
what's
to
her
come
name?
out,
MJ Bassett.
MJ Bassett is the director of this project. I will say,
any relation to Angela?
No, she's very white.
Hey,
doesn't mean anything.
In fact, she's English, so I highly doubt it.
The English have been everywhere.
Yep.
But she has directed a few things. She directed a few episodes of Power, the TV series. She's also directed a few episodes of Ash versus the Evil Dead, as well as
she directed episodes of Power. Oh, she got some black in her.
She's done a lot of TV, actually. Looking at her IMDb, she's done a lot of TV. But she's she's no stranger to action, though. A lot of action series is in here. And she's Red Sonja is a cool character. She's really cool. Despite her costume aside, because a lot of people have always commented on how revealing her costume is. If it's still relevant today, and should they change it, so on and so forth. But regardless of her costume, she has always been a really badass character, a great fighter, skilled fighter, on the level with Conan the Barbarian. It's why she still has comics that come out today. So she's even every panel of hers, her kicking ass and taking names. So Red Sonja is a really cool character. I'm glad that the movie is coming out. I don't know where it's coming out. I think it's coming to theaters. Maybe it's but it's short. It's hour 50 minutes according to IMDb as far as the runtime goes. So, yeah, check out Red Sonja later this year if you want what looks like it's gonna be a fun B action movie, with a new person playing Red Sonja. Comes out August 15th. There we go. I had to look it up.
This year's moving so quickly and so slowly.
There's so much stuff coming out in August. It's gonna be a lot.
Yeah, it really is. Oh, well, it's so much stuff coming out in general in this year. It's been like a stacked year. But a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. You know, it's been a good year for movies. It's been a good year for TV. So, can't complain.
For sure.
Speaking of good movies, Superman!
That's right. Superman. We're in the year,
right.
I mean,
Superman.
the era of just going back to the original name of the original movie. I mean, we got Superman this week. I Know What You Did Last Summer next week. It's just we're just going back to basics for all of these.
At
movies.
least it's not the Superman or the I Know What You Did the Summer or something.
I know what you did that summer.
Oh, I would have been angry.
I know what you did this summer.
I know what you did this summer. I know what you're gonna do next summer. That's
Fall
what
down,
needs to be.
injure myself again.
I mean, the fact that they have Jennifer Love Hewitt say a line like, it's like, you have to help us. Well, there's only way I could do it. Like, tell me what you guys did this, what'd you do last summer? And I'm like, I feel like she should have said that like Arnold Schwarzenegger or some shit. Like, no, you didn't only way for me to help.
It's
tell
completely.
me what you did last summer.
It's completely fair too to be like, what the fuck did you guys do? Because clearly there's a she's like, I know what I did to warrant a serial killer coming after me. What did you all do? All right, because I know what happened with me.
I'm hoping in this movie. I haven't seen anything. Anybody who's seen it, I haven't seen any posts or reviews or anything about it. I'm hoping my girl Brandy, aka Carla, makes a cameo at least. She did tease it.
I imagine she will.
I think she will. She did tease it on Instagram. She just posted like a picture of her and Jennifer Love Hewitt like last week or the week before. So
and you know the director's like, why in the hell would you do that? All right, stop giving people ideas. This is supposed to be a secret. What's wrong with you?
I hope she plays a bigger role than we think. You know, like instead of just like a cameo, all of a sudden in like the second half of the movie, she's just like fully like she's the one like, with all the gear. She's like,
I know the right. I know what we got to do.
Yeah, she's the one with like the maps, pulling it down, being like, "This is how we're gonna stage it. Here are the blueprints. Where you get blueprints doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Fact is, I have them printed out, bullet, moving board and everything. We're ready to go. Like, I want her to be that."
I feel like they usually say in these type of like reboot movies, I feel like they usually save the surprise like appearance for that specific role. Like they're the person who knows everything. They're the person who can get them out of that situation.
Yeah. Definitely agree with that.
But you know who was in a sticky situation in this movie? Superman. This movie is I don't even know what number Superman this movie. Audience, I'm sorry.
I mean,
technically it's the first one.
Alex,
I wasn't gonna stop you.
No. You were already talking, so go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I was like, technically it's like, because like, are you talking about just Superman movies or Superman movies that involve other people? Because Batman v Superman also has Superman in it, but it's not a Superman movie per se. And Justice League has Superman in it, but that's also not a Superman movie.
Yeah, but the Justice League was focused on very Superman focused, no? Or the second one?
A little.
I don't know which. Was there a second Justice League movie or no?
If we're talking movies, there's at least 7 Christopher Reeves movies, 1 Brandon Routh movie, 1 Henry Cavill movie, and now this movie. So this is like movie 10.
And then we have Smallville,
like solely focused on Superman, and then Smallville. Lois and Clark, Superman and Lois.
Wasn't Superman and Supergirl?
Yes, but it wasn't really about him, but he was in it at points, as like a cameo. But the show was mostly about Supergirl.
Well, anyways,
but
Superman.
This is more so movie 10, but the first movie of the new DCU.
Yes, that's right. And in this one, Superman must reconcile his alien Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing as reporter Clark Kent, As the embodiment of truth, justice, and the human way, he soon finds himself in a world that views these as old-fashioned. It's directed by James Gunn, stars David Corenswet, Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Hoult, and
Alan Tudyk.
some others.
We got who else?
Bradley
Goddamn.
Cooper.
Isabella Merced.
Mm-hmm.
Nathan Fillion. Very star-studded cast.
Yeah, absolutely.
There is a lot.
Eddie
of-
Kathegi. We can't forget Eddie Kathegi. All right. Everyone put some respect on Eddie Kathegi's name.
Who is that?
Mr.
I don't think I
Terrific.
couldn't say that name.
Oh. Why don't they have him on IMDb? Wow.
That's a good question, IMDb. Why don't you feel you care to answer? Why y'all ain't putting no respect on Eddie Kathegi's name?
They got like everybody from SNL on there too.
Wait, who
Yeah,
from
that was
SNL is
actually-
in this movie? Oh, what's his name?
Like Beck Bennett.
They don't have him on
Yeah.
here either. Where's half the cast?
No.
IMDb.
It's literally all the way down. You have to like scroll pretty far
Yeah,
Before you
you
get,
do
like,
actually.
to
Yeah.
these people.
Skylar Gazondo is also pretty low down on the list. He
Does
played a very
Rachel
important character.
Brosnan. Yeah, Rachel
Brosnahan.
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 There.
You go. Wait, is
I
Will
saw
Reeve?
Tinashe, and I was
Oh,
like,
that's
Tinashe's in this movie.
cool. Will Reeve is in this movie. He's the son of Christopher Reeve. He hasn't played
Yeah.
anyone important.
Wait, who does he play?
He plays like a reporter that was on the ground, so he's like a cameo role. But still, that's really cool.
Yeah, like way down
Wasn't
is
Will,
like Nathan
Will Reeve was
Fillion.
Superman at one point?
No,
I thought I saw something that said he was.
I mean he's acted before, but he's not. He is not
Superman. It says Will Reeve. I
I
saw
like-
a graphic that said he was Superman.
Well, I mean, we could look on his IMDb.
He's
I'm
not
pretty sure we just
Superman.
Look,
He's
I
not
thought
Superman.
Abby was in Oh Hi. Sometimes you think you know something. I swear it was her. I mean, the afflictions and everything in her voice. Fun little fact was that David Corenswet?
Cornsweat.
Corenswet.
Corenswet, I said it right. Found out he got the role of Superman while he was on Twisters, the set of Twisters.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
he
I saw
got
the
the call
video.
in between
That
scenes,
is
yeah.
Interesting.
I saw
Okay.
the video of the cast being like, "Hey."
Yeah. And they had to hold off on some of the bloopers until it was officially announced, or some of the, fun little scenes, because who was the character who's riding with him a
Anthony
lot?
Ramos.
Yeah. Anthony Ramos was like, I just got yelled at by Superman. And they're like, you can't say that. We can't use that right now. He just got it. So they had to hold off. I keep hitting my mic. Sorry. He had to hold off some of the uncut, fun blooper scenes because they kept making jokes about him being Superman. They're like, he just got the call. It's not announced. You can't do that. We can't show it just yet. But
That's funny. I honestly forgot he was in Twisters. I was still thinking about him in Pearl because that was the first time I saw him. Was Pearl?
I forgot he was in
He played the
don't think I've ever
projectionist.
Projectionist.
I don't think I've ever seen him in anything before, except this. But it was he did a great job.
Technically, you saw
Yeah,
him
he-
in Twisters. You just weren't paying attention. Ironically,
I-
he wore
I-
the
I haven't-
glasses in
I
that
haven't-
movie too.
I haven't seen
were-
Twisters.
Right. We saw Twisters in 40X. but
You
Jonathan
never saw
didn't.
Twisters?
I wanted to see it in 40X because everybody was talking about it, but I didn't get
Thrown.
to it.
It was so much fun. We got thrown. But anyway, focusing on Super. I'm sorry. How did we? I mean, it's on HBO. Go watch it on HBO.
I think it's
Actually,
Peacock.
no. It's on Prime now.
It's on HBO Max too.
Is it?
Yeah, that's where it originally was.
Google's failed.
Point
me.
is,
They only show me
Superman.
on Prime.
Superman.
Superman.
I don't like
Basically,
Superman.
oh,
I was gonna say really quick. Oh, how we usually do this. I'm gonna do it for once because we all keep getting distracted. So, first part of the review, we just talk about how we like the movie. We keep from spoilers. We say, if it's something we enjoyed or not, And then eventually, after everybody gives their little mini review, we go into spoilers and go into more detail. Of course, at that point, if you haven't seen the movie, you're welcome to hop off, watch the movie, and then come back and join us. Or if you don't mind a few spoilers, just keep coming with us and enjoy the ride. Jonathan, what'd you think of the movie?
No. You gotta start with your statement about.
I didn't like that
because people are gonna think you're talking about the movie and not the character.
Fair enough. I don't like doing that. That's why I leave that to you guys. That felt weird.
If you say it now, you'll get it out the way, and people will probably forget what you said.
Fair enough. What was my introduction that bad? Wow, you guys are just. Why are you guys being so mean to me tonight?
He's talking about the Superman thing. He's not talking about your intro.
Oh.
No, your intro was great. It was excellent. I mean, the Superman slander. If someone clicked on this video and said, "I love Superman. Superman is my hero," and they click on it and you talking trash about Superman, then they're gonna be mad. So I'm trying to save you.
I will always talk trash about superheroes. No, originally I do not like Superman as a whole because I got really tired of just that's all they did. Like, DC does have a lot of interesting characters, but it's constantly Superman, and then they change him up, and they're like, oh, look, he's more like this and more like that, and it's just like, do you not remember what, like, Superman really was, or what, like, the moral ground he stood on, or, like, that he was really, really dorky? You try to make him into this really cool guy, but he's actually a big dork, because he grew up in Kansas on a farm. He's a dorky guy. Even as Superman, he's kind of dorky. He's very trusting and everything. And I got really annoyed with the constant different representations of him of like, oh, he's dark and moody. Like Zack Snyder's. I hated that one. Because it's like, oh, he's all dark and moody.
Henry Cavill?
Dude, yeah, Henry Cavill's. I like him. I liked how he looked in the
that's
suit.
the thing. I liked Henry Cavill as Superman. But the scripts were not giving him what he needed to be the best Superman he could be.
Henry Cavill could have been the best nerdy ass Superman had they allowed him to be, because he's kind of nerdy in interviews and shit too.
All I know is Jasmine. Is
Jasmine wouldn't have been down for the program.
She hates Henry Cavill. I love his behind. I love when he guest starred as Wolverine for like a split second in Deadpool and Wolverine.
That's true. Yeah.
But so I've always said that statement with Super, but like this movie, I actually had fun. I enjoyed it. I was laughing. I was smiling. I could actually see all the scenes, even the darker ones. I could actually, and I don't mean to see them. I mean, I could visually see them. I have very shitty eyesight. I could not see a lot of the Supermans as they got darker and darker, but I could see this movie perfectly. Even when the darker moments, I could see everything. So the lighting was great. All the acting was really on point. I just had so much fun. And then Crypto. Crypto was the star of the film. That dog reminded me so much of Winnie, the Samoyed, who's the one I literally picked her ass up and ran across the pier, which, by the way, found no videos. I feel good. I feel better. I didn't find any videos of, like, carrying a Samoyed, 2 times my size, across the pier. But, like, it's like that every time I saw the dog, I was like, that's Winnie. So, like, I felt even more in love. But, like, the whole story plot was really, I thought was actually really well done. And I was surprised with that. Because of all the superhero movies we've gotten, it's a lot of the emotional beatdown for the hero. Constantly being like, hey, look, your morals are shit. You're not gonna, the world's shitty. Yeah, great, the world's shitty. But, like, it's Superman. It's supposed to be more fun. It's supposed to be a good story in it while you end up feeling good. Like, hey, in the end, good does prevail over evil, And with this Superman, you definitely got it. And there's such a comical aspect to it that doesn't ruin it. There's no comic relief in there. There's no one character that's holding it. It's all the characters. They're all funny. They all have a great energy. And they all have a great chemistry together. And just, this movie was just fun. And it had a good lesson. And, like, it was sweet and colorful, and I was so surprised that I actually ended up loving the movie as much as I did, because I was like, Superman, okay. But, like, because I'm very over superheroes, but, like, this movie was just so good and so much fun. And, again, I was just surprised how much I actually enjoyed it. So, I mean, that's my take on the movie so far. What about you, Jonathan?
I have a similar take. I really enjoyed watching this movie. From the trailer, I don't think I saw the whole trailer, but I remember seeing the beginning. And just from those first few seconds that I watched, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this way more than I normally do with the superhero media, because with especially a lot of the stuff that has been put out lately, not even lately, just like since the dawn of time, a lot of it runs together. And you don't, I mean, you can say this about any genre, any type of movie that you watch, any horror movie, any reality TV show, any whatever. You can say that they all run together, and there's not much that differentiates one from another. But when it does happen, I appreciate it because it's a breath of fresh air. Um, I appreciated the fact that this movie felt like it took place in the real world with these superhero, you know, beings also being present, and these, uh uh these crazy things that are happening. They just happen to be happening. Um I also appreciate the fact that this film felt very current in the sense of its political climate. It kind of set the tone from jump of where it was going to go. I know a lot of people are very appreciative of the fact that it sets its stance very clearly, and we can get into that once we get into like the nitty gritty of the film. But I there was definitely a one to one comparison that I was thinking in my mind when I was watching the Lex Luthor of it all, um, and the I forget what the country was called, but
Bavaria and Jarhimpur, I think is how you pronounce it, or Jarhimpur is how you
Yeah,
pronounce the fiction.
Jarhampur.
They're both fictional countries, but I think that's the
Yeah.
pronunciation they used in the movie.
yeah, there was like 100%. Thank you for that. 100% like one to one comparison for me in my mind. Also, this has nothing to do with the movie, but I continue my streak 3 weeks in a row.
Man, listen.
You know what? You need to start renting out the private theater yourself.
To a different theater. They don't respect you there.
They all happen at the same theater. Actually,
The audience,
Oh, it is
the
the
audience
same
there
theater? Yeah,
knows
you
when
need to
you
go.
coming. They know to act up when you there. All right, they planning this ahead of time at this point. It's on purpose. It's a conspiracy.
So I
think so. At this point, I think so.
I got to what I thought was my seat. About like 25 minutes after the movie scheduled time, and I feel less guilty about doing this now. After AMC announced that they're adding more trailers to movies now. So I'm getting there 25 minutes after the movie is scheduled to start, which brings me right on time when the guy is saying, be quiet and silence your cell phones. Right before right before the Coca-Cola commercial, and right before the Nicole Kidman commercial that doesn't need to be there. Okay. So anyway, I walk
All of it
in.
doesn't need to be there.
Literally. I walk in, and there's a group of people just like where my seat is supposed to be. I'm sitting towards the middle, and I point at one guy, and I'm like, oh, I think that's my seat. And I even show him the phone and everything. The guy sitting next to him, not the guy that I was pointing to, the guy sitting next to him, who was apparently like in his group or his friend or whatever, was like, oh no, this is I think I was G14. He's like, oh no, this is G18 to 19 or whatever. I was like, no, this is G14. I pointed to the seat multiple times. They did not want to look at the seat. I wanted to say, dude, I'm not even talking to you. I'm talking to this other guy. it turned out after all that, the girl who was sitting next to him was in my seat. It wasn't even the guy that I was talking to. But this brings me to, regardless, somebody was in my seat.
No. Point still stands.
But this brings me to AMC. I'm going to need y'all to label the seats better. Because what I don't want is having one label in between two seats without any arrow. I know they do that in certain theaters in AMC. I just need consistency. I need arrows pointing to the seat that it belongs to. How hard is that? It's just a little bit of paint. It probably won't even cost you $20 of paint. I need an arrow that will point to the seat that it is in so we can avoid this problem, because it's 3 weeks in a row, AMC, and I'm getting fed up. This might cost you my AMC A-list membership. You know I'm lying, but it won't.
You going over to Regal? Is that what you're saying? Huh? Make a threat?
I might.
Maybe. They don't
because now you guys are adding on more trailers, so that encourages me to arrive even later. But if someone's going to be in my seat, then what's the point? Do better, AMC.
That's true. No, you got a point.
I still love y'all, though. But it's at here versus here.
Yeah, it's a toxic relationship.
It is.
I think it's just that theater. You just got to go to a different theater, all right?
A little bit now, too. It's both.
It's the Grove, too. You would think that the
No,
Grove
I get it. It's a beautiful place, but it's just like clearly the worst people go there. Like you need to go to a different theater. And besides, this is a DC movie. You should have went where Batman was going to watch your back. I know that Batman statue is still out there. All right, you should have went to that one in Burbank. Batman would have been in there, been like, he said, get out of his seat. Or do I have to show you what we do with the people that steal seats around here in Gotham?
The thing is, their IMAX doesn't have reclining seats. The Grove IMAX has reclining seats.
See, you just being bougie, all right? Do you want comfort or do you want to deal with shitty people? These are the options.
That's kind of fair, because I go to the little ghetto theater by me, and I call it ghetto because there was literally a pimp shootout by it. And people have died in the parking lot and shit.
See, that's different. You going to where the prostitutes at. All right.
There's a lot of prostitutes. It was so funny because my coworker
theater should be clean and filled with people. Your theater is expected to have at least one shootout per night.
Let me explain. One, the parking lot was a stabbing, not a shootout. Secondly, the shootout that happened, it was so funny because a coworker sent me. I had literally just talked about that theater. I was like, yeah, I only go during the day or right after work. I try not to go at nighttime. And a coworker was like, oh, there was a shootout by your place on blah, blah, blah street. And she showed, because I don't want to say where my theater is. She showed me the video and I was like, hey, you know what's funny? And she's like, what? I'm like, you see the IHOP in the video? She's like, yeah. I'm like, literally behind the IHOP. That's my theater. That's the corner of my theater. And she looked so worried at me. She's like, are you going to a movie tonight? I'm like, yeah. She's like, will you text me when you get home? I'm like, it's fine. I've been going there. But the thing is, it's convenient. All the seats in that theater recline. And that's better than going to the Alderwood Theater where I have to drive for so long and not all the seats recline.
Your life is not worth the comfort.
It is. Also, it's a smaller theater, so when I bring a blanket sometimes because I'm cold.
Just don't go at night.
Nobody looks at me weird. I won't go after 8 p.m. It's fine. Okay. It's fine. I'm fine. I've lived. Anyway, but
most movies start at 7. But you're getting out at 9.
One pimp shootout, and suddenly I'm in danger.
You've always been in danger. That didn't change.
Fine. One parking lot stabbing. Suddenly that theater's not safe to go to.
Go to a morning, early afternoon movie. That's what I like to do.
I have to work. Well, I get out at 3.
I mean, on the weekends.
I was like, sometimes I do, I'll leave work immediately and just go to a movie. Or, sometimes I'm like, hey, I'm going to leave. I got a dentist appointment. And then you go to lie to them. And I go to the movie. Because they're not going to know. I have my phone off. Nobody bothers me. Be like, the movie starts at, 2. If I leave work right now, I can probably make it after the trailers. So I'm just like, hey, I forgot I had an appointment.
I guess I'll be cutting this part out of the episode then.
What? They should.
Just leave it in.
What are they gonna do? Fire me? I mean, they might. Who knows? Who knows in today's world? Anyway, your theater. You need to go to a different theater, Jonathan. I know why mine's bad. I know why mine's bad. Yours is like cursed or something.
That's true. She has an excuse. Yours should be having some people with some damn sense.
I think it's just because so many people go to that theater that there's bound to be like issues versus if it was
in a row at different movies of different genres.
3 weeks in a row, yeah.
I'm gonna test it out one more time. I'm gonna see. I Know What You Did Last Summer this weekend. That's a different genre than what I've been seeing the last few weeks, and we'll see if the theory is.
I think it is. If you come out
Actually,
here
no,
again,
I'm gonna go to Burbank. I'm gonna go to Burbank this weekend.
No, I want you to go now see that movie there.
No, because it's $5 for parking anyway, so I don't feel like paying that. Jerome, what are your initial non-spoiler thoughts on Superman 2020?
This movie is interesting. I really am enjoying seeing James Gunn's interpretation of these characters, because as you like, people who follow this podcast know, when we did our like very miniature review of the Suicide Squad, I really enjoyed that movie from James Gunn,
which we saw at the Burbank theater.
At Burbank, actually, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also enjoyed Peacemaker a lot. So when it was announced that James Gunn was going to be tackling the DC universe, like they were giving him the reins, him and somebody else whose name I can't remember right now, but he's like, you know, the head of creative basically. I was like, cool. Like, James Gunn's the type of guy, he loves comics. He loves especially classic comics. It's why he uses the characters he does. It's why he did a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. It's why he used Polka Dot Man of all characters in the Suicide Squad. Like, he loves comic books and the silliness that comes with that, along with the seriousness that comes with that. So going into this movie, I was really like excited for Superman. At the same time, though, I was also concerned with how many extra characters they were in this movie as well. So going in, you know, we went to the fan event, me and Alex and my cousin. We went to the like early screening on Tuesday on July 8th.
Y'all get the poster?
Amazon. No, we did not.
Or
get
the comic book?
Were we supposed
I know
to
they
get
were
something?
doing one.
I don't know.
I thought
think
they
may
were
have
doing
special
either,
theaters or something. They didn't have anything to hand out to us when we got there. But you know, we saw it. So we saw it with a theater filled with people with Superman shirts. I had my Superman shirt, which I bought this when we visited you in LA, actually, and we went on the Warner Brothers tour.
Oh, shoot.
But we, like, you know, everybody had their Superman shirt on. One dude was dressed as Superman. Just had the full costume.
Oh, yeah.
With cape and hair and, like, you know, hair, let his hair done up and everything.
Styled and everything.
Yeah.
Halfway through the movie, did he switch into a suit with glasses?
No, but that would have been very funny.
I would have loved it if he did.
But so, you know, we saw it where they really like amped up theater of people excited to see Superman. And coming out of it, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was very fun and it was super exciting. As I've had time to think about it some more, there are some minor things that I'm like, you know, and like now that I'm thinking about it, I liked it at the time because I was in the hype of the movie, but think about it, I'm like, because this movie is hard for me because as a comic book fan, I have a lot of thoughts about this film that I'll get into in the spoilers. But in thinking about how to review this movie, I thought about it from like, what would be the experience for someone who is not a comic book fan and is just going into this super cold, maybe knows the basics about Superman and nothing else, has not read All-Star Superman or Superman Man of Tomorrow or, you know, like all the things, and or even watched the Superman movies and things like that. That being said, like, I'll get into more of that in the spoilers, but that being said, for my money, I think this is a fun time. It's a really fun movie. I think the best thing about this movie more than anything else is that this movie captures the spirit of Superman just as well as it like reflects the character. One of the movies that I'm editing the mini review, but I haven't put it out yet, is it's so far still my favorite superhero movie, even better than this one for me. It's Thunderbolts. And the reason why is because Thunderbolts, that movie is so like does the same thing. It embodies the characters of who the Thunderbolts team is, and it's commentary on things like shame, guilt, mental health, all those, and how it all kind of ties in together, along with the characters that are chosen for that story, is so strong and makes that movie so great from a narrative standpoint. This movie does the same thing, but from a different angle. This one's all about hope, morality, legacy, being true to yourself, all those lessons, and all those things are Superman. Like, that's what makes Superman is that he really is. Like, watching the whole movie, I'm like, this guy really is truth, justice, and a better tomorrow, or the human way, or whatever. Like, he stands for that, and the movie does a great job to illustrate that, not just through the script that's really solid, but also David Corenswet's performance as Superman is just so good. He really is capturing Superman down to even the dialogue of like, boy golly, like he is hokey dokey Superman. But I love it. I'm glad that, to kind of get the Superman who can be a little dorky and can be a little cheesy and is a bit naive, and wants to, and is just so about good that he'll trust anybody and everybody. That's what Superman is. He's the type of guy that's willing to honestly look at a person and not see their faults, but see the person they could be and how good they could be as they go into the future. And that's awesome. But also the supporting cast is great. Just in Superman's world, we've got, Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. Perfect casting. Couldn't have picked a better person. She's so good at Lois Lane. She challenges Superman. She really captures that Margot Kidder type vibe too, from like, for those who have seen, Richard Donner's Superman with Christopher Reeve. And she's just great. Skylar Kazando is great as Jimmy Olsen. They do a thing with him here that I'll talk about in the spoilers that shocked me, but it's done very well for a lot of laughs in the movie. Wendell Pierce is great as Perry, even though he's not in the movie much. He captures that character really well. I'm forgetting all the actors' names, but the dude who play Beck Bennett as Steve Lombard, again, not in it much, but he captures the character. Like, they have a really great job with Superman's cast. Ma and Pa Kent. Finally nice to have a different type of Ma and Pa Kent in this movie, who are Superman's parents. They are great. And then also we have other characters who are other super people. And Eddie Cathegi is fantastic as Mr. Terrific. Or rather, he's terrific as Mr. Terrific. That's a character that I love so much. And I'm glad he finally is getting his flowers as both Eddie Cathegi, the actor, because he's been in superhero movies before and did not get his fair shake. So this is his redemption arc. He's talked about that in interviews recently. But also, Mr. Terrific is a badass character. And it's nice that finally, like, I'm glad to see more mainstream media start to realize, hey, there's more black superheroes besides Black Panther that we could actually rally behind. Not that I hate Black Panther or anything, but I'm like, I know y'all love Black Panther. There are other black superheroes that are really cool and badass. Like, they deserve to get your attention and a fair shake. So I'm glad to see that. Guy Gardner's cool. Hawkgirl's cool. We'll talk more about them in the spoilers. So overall, I think this movie, the best thing about this movie is that I think it's given people hope again. It's been a minute, to your point, Jonathan, about how I love Thunderbolts, but that movie holds a special place for me because of my own relationship to mental health. But even that movie is kind of a downer. and we've had a lot of that. A lot of our superhero movies as of late have been downers, have been about being as close to the ground realism as possible. Let's just talk about gritty realism. And it's nice to have a superhero movie that's like first of all, we're going to be super comic booky. It's going to be comic book the whole time. And number two, we're about hope. let's just hope again. Let's look towards the sky to a better tomorrow. Like, yeah, there are going to be bad days, but that's not all there is to the world around us. And Superman's the perfect character to embody that, because that is who he is at his core. And so to have him be kind of the representative of that in a movie is awesome. So I'm glad, and I'm excited to see them do more with this character in this universe, if this is the direction we're heading with the characters in the DC universe. So
and I lied, I actually have seen him in something else. He was in that show Hollywood on Netflix.
Yes, he was in Hollywood. Yeah,
So aggressive.
sorry. I haven't watched all that show, but I did watch like the first episode, and he was like pretty good.
I thought it was a good show. Well, now is the point in the episode where we get into all things spoilers. So if you do not want to hear about spoilers, if you haven't seen the movie yet, if you were just hopping in to say hi for the last hour and a half, then peace. See y'all. For those who are staying, let's continue. Now is our spoiler portion where we get into all things spoilers. Does anybody have any pressing spoiler thoughts?
I think Superman? The best place to start is, we know how Alex felt. Jonathan, how did you feel about Crypto the Super Dog?
Oh, I loved him. It's funny, Alex, you said that he reminded you of Winnie. He reminded me of Gibson, because I think that is... I don't think Gibson would be that bad in those situations where he is just like not... Actually, maybe. Because it's... Whenever we get outside, you know, he just does not want to pay attention to me unless I have a treat. So I could 100% see that dynamic being the same with me and my dog. So I was relating to it, and I love that storyline. And of course, you know, the dog had to save the day in the end, which I appreciated. It's crazy that Lex Luthor, you know, just like was letting the dog run and chase after those super squirrels for that whole time. I would think that he would do something a little more sinister, but...
Well, funny enough, so apparently it's reported that there was a scene in which the scene when they break into the Fortress of Solitude.
Oh, yeah, but the audience...
Jumps in, Ultraman punches Crypto, but the audience the test audience really did not like that, and really hated the scene, and so James Gunn removed it, because he was like, I don't want them to be like... I want people to be still in a mode of like, you know, like excitement. This is Superman. I don't want people to be down and worried about the dog who just got punched in the face. Especially when you learn the reveal of who Ultraman is. You can imagine Crypto would feel that shit. Getting punched in the face by another Superman. So
I never related to Superman more than when he busted into Lex Luthor's little like cabinet of evil villains. Or evil programmers, and then like, where the fuck is the dog? And the guy's like, don't you want to know how to do it? No, where is Crypto? Where is the dog? And he's like, seriously? I did all this stuff. I turned the world against you. Like, I got that recording of your parents. Don't you want to know how I do that? Where is the dog? I'm like, yeah, Superman has his, like, he's got his priorities.
I wanted him so bad to be like, you want me to turn this shit into John Wick? Give me the goddamn dog!
Okay, it's still Superman. I don't think he would say goddamn.
That's true. That's Zack Snyder's Superman.
I thought you were gonna say. I don't think he'd mention John Wick.
Oh no, he was ready to turn into John Wick. He came in there throwing Lex Luthor around
that damn desk like a softball.
Yeah, where is the dog? Like, he straight up, like, he got one of the things in Superman was that he kept replaying this damn message from his parents that were like, hey, we love you. We sent you to Earth. Be, you know, good. And then he found out that later on, after Lex Luthor found it, that he was able to fix some of the rest of the message. And the rest of the message is like, dominate over Earth. Become their leader. They don't know what's good for them. So show them by being their god and trample on those who don't follow. And like that broke Clark Kent. There's a moment where he's like heartbroken.
I've been loving the TikTok trend of like POV or woman in Metropolis, like, oh, he wants a harem. Oh no, that's terrible. But like, so like, where's the sign up? Just so I know where to avoid, signing up to be part of Superman's harem, because I obviously don't want to be a part of it. I'm just curious if you could just point me in the direction. And I was like, that's a fair point. They act like a whole bunch of women wouldn't have been like, wait, so he's taking multiple? Look, I don't need the relationship. I just want a piece. Like, I'll sign up. Why not?
Do I not have to work anymore? Do I gotta still go to my day job? Or can I
I'll gladly volunteer. They be out here like Katniss Everdeen. I volunteer as tribute. I'll sign up.
Look, all I'm saying is,
Superman's calling.
I don't have to work. I may get to eat grapes. I get to lounge around. I gotta share him. That's fine.
I mean, he's the world's strongest man.
I wouldn't.
He's got a handsome jaw. He's muscled up.
He's got a dog. He's got some. Look.
Dimples.
I'm not. Oh,
yeah, the dimples.
Tight suit. Look, I'm not saying no. I'm not saying but like no wearing the sign up sheet is. It's like a good I got no defense. No, I got no
I mean, I'll tell you who was guaranteed a harem in this damn movie. Goddamn Jimmy Olsen. Jimmy, I don't know what Jimmy must be bringing that thunder with these girls or something like that, because all these women want Jimmy for some reason. Hottest women in the whole world.
A player. That was weird.
Well, what's funny is they make it seem like Jimmy's oblivious. Like he dates the girls, but he's not like a jerk. Like it's not like he is a player. He just for some reason is a heartthrob. All the girls want to date Jimmy. Because the interns he hasn't dated, they just want to date Jimmy. And it's like, Jimmy, what is going on? Is there a rumor around or something? You out here with a whole ruler down there or something? What is going on?
Which the actor Skylar Gisondo, I've seen him in multiple things, and he does a good job at playing that type of awkward, like lovable character. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate that. Good for him. He really knows his character, his niche.
He really does. Yeah, he knows his brand for sure. I think he makes a great Jimmy Olsen. And I think it's cool. But not to get too far off track. Back to your point, Alex. I think the message thing has been that has been the thing that has been a little bit controversial for people, because normally it's been that the L's are also just as like altruistic as the Kents are. That the Jor-El and Lara L are also good people from Krypton. They want their son to be a good guy and just like, and live really, like, now I think it is weird, the idea of like them sending him a message being like, we sent you to Earth for a purpose. Normally it's just, son, we sent you to Earth because we knew you'd be safe. And so, and the people around there may need you, but more, like overall, like, you're going to be very powerful when you get there, but we're just glad you're safe more than anything else, is their whole thing. So a lot of people have had an issue with them changing, the changing of the L's to be essentially Viltrumites. A lot of people have compared them to, of like, how the Viltrumites' whole thing is, hey, go to the Earth, make it weak so that we can come down and take over. In this case, it's more of a, hey, go to the Earth, make it weak so that you can take over specifically. But I think two things. Number one, I get people's frustration, but I think people have to also understand about this movie, and this is the one thing about this movie that I think is a little weird and makes it hard to kind of judge it on its own merit sometimes. This movie is trying to do two things at once. It's a Superman movie, which is great, but it's also the start of the universe. Like, full stop, because there are so many cameos and Easter eggs and breadcrumbs and tons of things being put in place for future projects being done in this movie. We meet the Justice Gang, who I'm only going to assume is going to lead to the Justice League. We meet Guy Gardner, which is sets up the Lantern series that we're later getting. We meet Supergirl gets a cameo in this, that with a direct setup to the Supergirl movie that we're about to get soon. I think next year, the year after next year. There's a cameo of Maxwell Lord. Peacemaker.
Which I didn't know that was her dog.
Normally he isn't. That's a new thing. Normally Crypto is Superman's dog.
Right, that's what I always thought. I was like, oh, this is new.
Yeah, and in fact, Supergirl normally gets some of the other pets, like the Super Horse. And yes, there is a Super Horse in the comics. Or the Super Cat. There's also a Super Turtle.
There's a Super Turtle? Shut up. There's not. Why is there a Super Turtle? Why are all these animals surviving from Krypton?
Well, not all of them are from Krypton. Like the Super Turtle. What's his name? Like he doesn't have a name, but he's just the Super Turtle. But yeah. Most of these are just like auxiliary characters that they then kind of scoot into Superman's mythology, because Streaky is the Super Cat. He's got a little lightning bolt on his side. He's Streaky the Super Cat. And he's got a Superman cape. There's also Ace the Bat Hound, who's Batman's dog. There's a lot of super pets out there. But the thing is that this movie sets up so many Comet. That's the name of the Super Horse. I was trying to figure it out. Comet the Super Horse. But
wait, sorry. One question about Supergirl. Is she normally like a drunken party girl in the comics?
So no, that is a specific thing. Yes and no. So the story they are adapting to make the Supergirl movie is a story in which Supergirl does get drunk on a regular basis. There is a reason why. I don't know if I don't want to spoil it for you in case you watch Supergirl, because it's a direct thing about in the story of that comic, and I'm sure it's going to be a big thing in the movie. So I won't spoil for you why it is she's kind of a drunk, but you know.
Please,
there is a reason. It's probably trauma.
Really quick. Well, yeah. I mean, that's why I drink.
I'm assuming something traumatic happens.
Same. I have to pee. I have to pee, so I'll be right back.
Okay. But Supergirl, so that's like, because I've seen some people have an issue with that too, being like, oh, Supergirl's a drunk now, and in the CW series, Supergirl's a drunk. I'm like, yes, in the CW series, she's not a drunk. In the comics, well, one comic in particular that I think is canon, she has that's a whole thing. It's why they mention it. It's why she shows up drunk. It's why she has that brown coat. It's a whole thing. And that's what I mean. Like her whole cameo in that segment is just to set up her movie. Which if you know, you know. But if you don't, it just feels very random. And you're like, oh, she's drunk and she's Supergirl? That's weird. But like, I bring up Supergirl because I think with the message being altered, and they go to great lengths to say, no, it's not altered, or no, it's not a fake message, it's a real message. I think that may also be a breadcrumb, because I think with Supergirl's movie, they can maybe illuminate a lot more. Because I will tell you about Supergirl's backstory. Supergirl, despite looking younger than Superman, she's technically older. She launched off Krypton while it was blowing up, and when she was 16, with the express purpose of being like, hey, protect your cousin, who's also going there, who's a baby. But she went into like a wormhole type thing, or like depending on the continuity they do for the movies, I don't know. But normally it's that she goes through a wormhole that sends her to Earth like 30-something, 40-something years later. I think normally 30 years later. So by the time she gets to Earth, she's still 16 years old, but Kal-El has grown up to be like 30. So when she shows up, she's like, oh, well, I was here to protect you, but you're already like a grown man and stuff. So, and Superman treats her like a 16-year-old because mentally she still is, even though technically she's older than him. And so that's why also there's a part of it where she knows a lot more about Kryptonian culture than he does because she actually grew up in it. He was just a baby at that time, so he only knows like the memories and the remnants that he got from his baby pod thing. So that I'm curious if the message being altered is a breadcrumb for her in that movie where we're gonna find out more about Kryptonian culture, and that maybe we're hearing the message wrong, or maybe they got cut off, like they didn't finish or something like that, or this is like a message that was altered on the other side, like before it was sent to Krypton, Zod or somebody changed it using Kryptonian technology and then sent a different message. We don't know, but still, I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of things that could happen with that plot point that I don't think it's done. I think people are prematurely jumping the gun to be like, oh, Superman's parents are evil. It's like, we don't entirely know that yet. There's 1,000 ways they could change this in a future movie.
I do wish they would have saved the Supergirl cameo to the after credit scene.
Same.
Because
it feels weird. It feels like it out of place. Even the line he says feels out of place when he's like, gives the whole explanation. Yeah, she goes to planets with red suns so that she can get drunk. I'm like, nobody asked for that information. You just volunteered that information like anybody asked you, why is she drunk? Like, it seems like all the robots know why she's drunk. So who are you telling this information to? This ain't new.
Especially because the after credit scenes that they did give us, they were very inconsequential. They were just like the cute little like scenes that didn't really have anything to do with anything.
And it's weird because James Gunn has said that the reason he did the after credit scenes the way he did is because one of the things he hated working with Marvel was that the after credit scenes sometimes would put him in a box writing wise that he had to fulfill. Like, for example, Guardians 3 didn't have room for Adam Warlock, like, at all. But because Guardians 2 had that after credit scene that set up, next movie, Adam Warlock, well, James Gunn at that time may have thought he was going to do that, but then as he was writing the story for Guardians 3, because it had been years since 2, he had already moved on to a different idea. But now you got to deliver. You can't just, we set this up. You got to do Adam Warlock now. And so he had to shoehorn him into the movie because this after credit scene says this character's coming, so we can't not deliver on that. Which is funny because now Marvel is setting up a lot of after credit scenes that they don't deliver on as of late. Had Harry Styles and a whole Eternals.
I remember that.
Did not set that shit ain't come back yet. Blade was in an after credit scene. The voice, it was Mahershala Ali's voice, but we know it was Blade. Ain't seen Blade yet in a single movie because they can't get the shit off the ground. Can't. Friggin', what's his name? Brett Goldstein, who played Roy Kent in what's his name? Ted Lasso. Mm-hmm. He is set up to play Hercules at the end of Thor 4. We ain't seen him since then. Like, just constantly setting up shit, no payoff in any way, shape, or form. But anyway, so he said that. Oh, you okay?
There was another. These flies are attacking me. There was another fly in here. I just had to get it real quick.
Need bottle tree.
I've heard of that.
Mm-hmm. But like so James Gunn's whole thing about the mid-credit scene, after credit scene, and this is that he wanted to just have fun and just have some.
Hold on, I was yelling into the mic and I realized the mic wasn't even on. Well, my mic was on, so you're gonna hear it twice, Jerome. Wait, wasn't Blade in like Wolverine and?
No. Mahershala Ali's Blade, canon MCU Blade, not Blade from a different movie.
Oh, okay.
Different Blade. But here's the thing. I get what James Gunn's reasoning is. We didn't need them scenes. We could have went home. I mean, I love Crypto, and I love Mr. Terrific, but those after credit scenes, I'm like, why do we feel these could have been in the next movie, or hell, could have been in this movie?
I like the Mr. Terrific one because it was just very dorky and very, like, that ending part was, I felt like, didn't have to be, like, a simple, like, oh, look where we're gonna go. That one was simply, like, Clark Kent was staring at, it was Clark Kent being Clark Kent, where it's that oblivious, like, well, I didn't mean to upset you. I was just kind of making an observation, which the Clark Kent I remember as a kid watching from the cartoons and stuff. That's where really my Superman knowledge comes from. Always did that a lot in the show. He would just say something, and they're like, well, fuck you, Clark. I was doing my best. He's like, no, it's great that you did your best. I was just saying it was a little off. Well, how about you do it then, Mr. Superman? So that's what I felt like that vibe was.
Mr. Superman. I wish he had that. Mr. Superman.
That's what that vibe gave me. But I will admit to the Supergirl one, was it necessary? Not really, but like also very, I get if they're trying to set up the next movie. They always got to do that now to set up the next movie.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys think about, just to stay on Superman for a bit before we get into some of the other characters again? What do you guys think of, well, I guess let's talk about the man himself, Superman. What do you think about Superman, David Corenswet as Superman? Like, all thoughts free.
I thought he did an excellent job. Now, I think, because obviously Henry Cavill, the most recent Superman, he is probably in most people's minds at the time of watching this movie. So in that sense, it's a little bit of a comparison to strictly him. And I think I like his performance a little bit more. David Corenswet, actually a lot more. I think he's probably one of the best Supermen. He has like a natural charisma. I feel like the actor and that conveys in his portrayal of the character. He was a little sillier, I feel like, than Henry Cavill is. Henry Cavill seemed a little bit more serious in his portrayal, but this kind of brought a little bit more of that levity to the role. I also think he was very he was a little more empathetic. Like, you felt for him, and you could. It's still a little bit of that. Oh, it's this perfect specimen, and this guy, like, how can he be relatable? But he felt a little bit relatable. Especially, I'm thinking of the scene when him and Lois are together and they're having that intense interview, and just that whole scene when they're in the apartment, that the whole emotional journey that they kind of go on from, us kind of discovering, I guess, in the movie that, they really care for each other, and then going through this contentious interview, and it's like, okay, where do they stand at now? But there are also jokes thrown in there at that point. I really like that scene, and I think him and Rachel Brosnahan did a good job in their portrayals, particularly that scene.
I want to piggyback off that idea because that was actually one of my favorite scenes too. I think both of them in a weird way were trying to simplify their argument, because his was, I could connect with his more, people were going to die. It was, to him, that was simple as that. People were going to die. However, she was also looking at it from a political standpoint where Superman may not be human or, is an alien to this world, but he's considered almost an American. So him intervening was an American act. And so she was trying to put it that way as well, like, you were acting as a U.S. representative. And he's like, no, I was acting as Superman. And which brings the question into, is Superman American? Is that his nationality? When he does stuff outside the Metropolis, thank you. is he acting as a U.S. citizen or is he acting just as Superman? And that conveys a whole argument right there, where she was trying to focus on, you acted as a U.S. representative, whether you liked it or not, and he was simply, people were going to die. That was my standpoint. And she was also trying to be like, hey, you have a lot more political influence than you think. You're not just simply an alien here. You're a political figure as well as a heroic figure, as well as, you know, something that stations as hope, or the way to have people lead morally, be a leader as well. And again, his was a very simple, people were going to die, I saved people's lives. And that is shown throughout the whole movie. A lot of the superhero movies, you see buildings getting destroyed, people getting crushed when the monsters fall. With Superman, he did everything he could. He even saved a squirrel in one of the scenes. So that scene there where they're arguing, I think was really well done, because as a reporter, she's trying to make him see all the different sides of which his actions could have influenced a whole bigger problem, or how his actions influence a whole world. And he was just trying to make her see that I'm Superman, like, I save lives, and so many people were going to die, and that's what mattered. It was the count of the death. It was the death of the people that mattered more than any political issue. And I do like how their argument evolved and how they had to keep taking breaks. And she's like, I can't use that. And he's like, I know you can't use it because even you messed up in there and called me Clark. And she's like, well, I know I can't use that. And he's like, you're going after me in such a harsh way. And she's like, you told me to. You told me to be the reporter. And he's like, no, but you're also not being the reporter because you know me on such a personal level. You know exactly what to say to piss me off. And I think that was also an interesting take on their relationship, of why he's constantly interviewing himself because he knows how to, I don't know if this is like a great way to say it, softball himself. Did that sound?
I feel like,
yeah, because Lois Lane, that is her role. It's just she constantly challenges Superman. So that actually makes sense too.
I feel like this particular moment in the movie when she's interviewing him, and like you mentioned, he is able to give himself those softball questions. I feel like that whole scene, Superman, in a way, was kind of embodying the typical politician, in that he, you know, like if he could give himself softball questions, he would. Also, there was that one part where she calls him out for thinking of sound bites and just wanting to use sound bites in the interview, where at that point where he's like, I can't even remember what he said. He was like, Superman
doesn't have time for social media, something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh yeah, I thought of that. So yeah, I feel like that was definitely not necessarily a jab, but like a peek inside the window of what a politician who knows what they're doing might say in their home.
Well, that's the thing that is weird. They don't expand on this political idea as much as I thought they were going to at the start of the movie, because the whole beginning of the movie is talking about this, like his involvement in Bavaria and things like that. And then it kind of just stops after a while. Like the conflict of Bavaria and Jaranpur doesn't stop, but the conversation.
Is it Bavaria? I thought Bavaria was a real place.
Yeah, Bavaria is a real country or city. No, country?
Nope.
Bavaria is a state in Germany.
Oh, sorry. Bavaria
chocolate.
is the
Isn't
name
it Bavaria
of it.
Chocolate? No.
I'm sorry. Bavaria.
Bavarian chocolate.
Sorry, all Bavarians.
Bavarians.
Do I have
Bavaria.
chocolate?
But they like the Baravian. Alex
the way she scooted away.
She's gone. But the Baravian conflict itself is like that stays, but the conversation of like Superman's role kind of just stops, which is weird.
Oh my gosh.
Is it Gibson? Did he scare you?
Yes.
Is there a ghost? Is there something behind me? I found chocolate.
He jumped up on my hand.
I'm so easily distracted today.
You literally just got ice cream.
You're talking to us.
But anyway, I thought they were going to expand on that more, especially because that's something that I thought was really cool. Is like I think the best thing about the Superman more than anything else, he's a mix of all the Supermen, like so many different versions of Superman, from the TV shows to the movies to even some of the comics, like the whole political thing. That's I don't know if this is direct where he pulled it from, but this is a conflict in Superman Red Sun, which is a story in an alternate universe where Superman, instead of landing in America, he lands in the Soviet Union during and he becomes Superman during the Cold War. But he's still the only thing that's different about that story is that it takes place during the Cold War and he's in Russia. Past that, he's still Superman. And he goes to America to still save people because he still is that guy who's like, I stand for truth and justice. I just feel like truth and justice aligns with the Soviet Union. But if there's something happening in America, I'm going to save the people in America. Like, that's because I'm Superman. That's what I'm supposed to do. But people in America and people in the Soviet Union are like, hey, what are you doing? What, you think you're just going to go over to America and just save people? The Soviet Union didn't sanction that. And he's like, you didn't need to sanction it. I'm Superman. And so it's interesting to see that same type of conflict in this movie where he's like, I'm Superman. My job is to keep the planet safe. I don't really care about borders and governments. Like, I'm not going to kill anybody, but I'm also not just going to let people die. Like, I'm Superman. I have the power to stop it. But the question then becomes, like, just because you can, should you? Like, when you have Superman level power where you're basically unchecked, you know what I mean? We're seeing that now with Homelander and The Boys, where he has Superman level power and nobody's telling him what to do and he does what he wants. So it's like, that's kind of, it's cool, but they don't really talk about it much. Oh, Jonathan, is your camera?
Sorry, I think my dog accidentally unplugged my camera. Because he walked away.
He was upset that you didn't describe him more as crypto. He was like, I am crypto. How dare you not give me a better comparison? But I agree with what you're saying. Because even when they were creating the Justice League, they were unchecked too. And with Guy, the arrogance that he showed, he's like, I don't care if people die. I don't care if this happens, as long as it's defeated. Where they originally fight that original monster, Superman's like, we can take him off-site. We can go and figure out why he grew the way he did. We can figure out what he is. And the Justice League, which consisted of
the
Green
Justice
Lantern,
Gang,
or the Justice Gang, apologies. Which was
so ridiculous. Was like,
yeah,
what?
He's like, it's a Justice Gang. And then, what is it, Mineral Man? Elemental Man?
No, Metamorpho wasn't there yet, but yeah, Metamorpho.
But no, he was like, I like the Justice Gang, and Guy.
Oh yeah, Metamorpho. Yeah, he likes.
He's
the
like,
Justice
yeah,
Gang.
no, I agree with you. Yeah, let's go. But it's all them. They are unchecked, and they go and they do worse. And it begs the question: all right, Justice League's unchecked, but they're metahumans, and then there's Superman, who's an alien, but he has the same thing going on. He's just saving a lot more lives. That was weird. It felt like you just appeared. Poof.
I did.
You got a bright light and poof, you were there. I'm not sure I like that.
I'm Superman.
I'm so sad I didn't have enough ice cream. I only had a little bit. Very sad. But it shows the two unchecked worlds and what they focus on. They focus on the alien. They're like, we don't like the metahumans, but we got aliens now. Question. You mentioned totally going in another direction. You mentioned somebody's father was in the briefing room?
Yeah.
Who died?
So so in this movie, another cameo we get is General Rick Flag Sr., played by Frank Grillo, who is the father of Rick Flag Jr., who was the leader of the Suicide Squad. More specifically, James Gunn's The Suicide Squad movie, played by Joel McKinnon, who was killed by Peacemaker. We don't that won't bear fruit until Peacemaker season 2. We already know Frank Grillo is going to be once again playing Rick Flag and will come in conflict with Peacemaker in Peacemaker season 2 that's coming out later this year.
Excuse me. But he's in this movie as the guy in the conference room. He's another one where I'm like, I get what you're trying. Again, it's like breadcrumbs for future projects because their whole thing, his whole role in this movie is basically to set up that the government is a little concerned that the meta-humans are now kind of taken over. Like they're the ones that the public is looking to for protection. They don't really care about the U.S. government anymore. And it's like, well, maybe y'all should be doing a better job. Think about that, huh?
That's fair. No, it's a fair thing. Should be just doing better.
Although, like, thinking of the government and its lack of doing anything, this also leads us to our main villain, because we haven't talked about him yet at all, even in our general thoughts. What do you guys think about Lex Luthor? Because this is another one where it's a different take of Lex Luthor. He's not what a lot of people expected, especially when it was heard that Nicholas Hoult was cast as Lex Luthor. A lot of people were like, Nicholas Hoult? Isn't he like skinny and young? Normally Lex Luthor is like older and like bigger. Except in Smallville. But to be fair, everyone's younger in Smallville. So
wasn't Jesse Eisenberg Lex Luthor?
Nobody liked Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. Nobody wanted that. That was a Zack Snyder choice. Okay, nobody wanted him to be Lex Luthor.
Oh, I thought you meant the actor from Smallville. I was like, I like him.
No, he was great. Michael Rosenbaum. He's great.
The guy, yeah.
From The Social Network.
Yeah, I don't like him. I finally watched sidetracking. I finally watched Now You See Me.
In preparation for the sequel. Yeah, now you have to watch Now You See Me too. Yeah.
I'm working on it. His character is so fucking annoying.
I haven't seen that movie in a minute. I need to watch it again.
Oh my god! Like I wanted a good slap. I feel like would have set that man straight. Just a nice hard slap in the face would have helped a lot. It would have helped me seeing his character get slapped. But yes, I gotta see Now You See Me 3, and then the third one's gonna be Now You See Me, Now You Don't. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Which is so I hate movie titles.
Well, it's funny because that's what the fans wanted it to be called. Wanted the second one to be called. They wanted the second one to be called Now You Don't.
Which would have made sense, but I genuinely, I don't know if it's like me just getting older or something, but I hate movie titles so much more lately that it's like when they say sequels, it's like, all right, this is number 2, all right, cool. But then they try to be like funny, and then they're like, oh, like Now You Don't, but like no, that's wrong. No, you should have done that earlier. Now you're just doing it because so many people complain. You're like, okay, here's the third movie, and now it's called Now You Don't. And it's like, no, that's not how it works. Anyway, yes, I did not like him at all. I don't like him in general, but I think he has that.
Wait, who?
He's the guy from Social Network.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Oh, Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg. Lex Luthor is supposed to be smooth. He's supposed to be cool. He's a businessman. He's like, yeah. Jesse Eisenberg's characters all play that awkward person. That I'm uncomfortable with my own self. That like energy of like uncertainty. Lex Luthor is supposed to be cool, badass, suave, moving. Everybody's under his spell. That's Lex Luthor. And what's the actor's name in this one?
Nicholas Hoult.
Nicholas Hoult. This is a normal thing for me, people. I just don't remember names. Nicholas Hoult played that, I think, very well. He played it cool. He played it suave. He had everybody under his spell, where he was able to just point and be like, "We're gonna do this," and it was almost like a great flow he had come from him. A smooth to his movements when he was directing people on how to fight, when he was saying which robot should do what movement. And I think that is what portrayed him so well as Lex Luthor, no matter the age he was playing at. I feel like Lex Luthor should be maybe a little older than Superman, but at the same time, it's okay if he has that confidence of Lex Luthor. He has that confidence of wealth, status, money, intelligence, and all that, and the way and the charisma that comes with that power. So I think Nicholas Hoult's portrayal was actually really well done.
Yeah, because powerful leaders, no matter how villainous they are, they usually have one thing in common. They're usually charismatic. So I feel like that is always something that you need to bring to a villainous role, especially Lex Luthor. I feel like he did bring it, Nicholas Hoult, to this role. First of all, I always thought he was American because I only see him in American roles, but he's actually British.
Yeah, he is.
And vice versa, I thought David Corenswet was British, but he's American. I feel like it's a combination of his name and face. He looks British, and the name sounds even more British, but he is American. Regardless of all of that, I felt the villainy. I don't think this was the most evil that they could have made Lex Luthor, aside from the fact that he would have taken a whole bunch of lives by taking over this.
He does play Russian roulette with the dude in the in the damn pocket universe, and then kills him, and does not give two shits about it either. He kills that guy, and it's like, all right, well, never mind, moving on.
Yeah. But you don't get to know that guy a lot. I wish we would have gotten to know that guy a little bit more. We only had that one scene with him.
Somebody does point out that he lies. He's like, so when he has a gun to his head, he tells Superman, "Don't say anything. I don't have a family. I don't have anything. You know, please. It was an honor for you to eat my food," and that was it. But somebody pointed out that early in the movie, when you first see him, his dad calls. So he lies so that Superman doesn't feel guilty about his death. He's like, I don't have a family, I don't have anything. Early in the movie, his dad calls, he talks to his dad. And it's like, you do have family, you probably have more. How dare you lie?
That's why Clark Kent makes that, puts out an article about him and calls him a hero.
Yeah, I forgot about that already.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Lex Luthor kidnaps a baby. He holds a baby hostage in this movie. I mean, it's Metamorpho's baby, so it's kind of like a freaky baby, but he's still a baby nonetheless.
He's a cutie.
I feel like it could have gone a step further. If he, granted, apparently he did something to the dog. Apparently he did something to the dog in the unreleased cut of the movie, so maybe that was...
He kidnapped monkeys and made them shitpost Superman in a pocket universe for the rest of their lives.
So did Elphaba in The Wizard of Oz. So and look what she got now. People singing her songs. So
she saved those monkeys. Okay, they didn't want to live in Oz anyway. She gave them wings like Red Bull.
It was painful and torture. They screamed in agony.
I mean, listen, you gotta crack a few eggs to make an omelet. All right, it's just.
So we don't give Jerome any monkeys. I feel like that's like a ground rule.
Look, Elphaba did that too, and they gave her a Wicked Part 1 and Part 2, so she's doing fine.
So no monkeys for Jonathan either. We're just gonna keep monkeys off the set completely. I don't think he needed 1,000 monkeys. That was excessive. Like 100 maybe, but like he had a straight up like Matrix wall going on of monkeys just shit talking Superman.
I liked how goofy he was a little bit, because I think much like how this Superman feels like a lot of different Supermen in one version of Superman. I feel like he's a lot of different versions of Lex Luthor as well, because he definitely, I agree, he has the menacing part down. He can be very cold and calculating and villainous, but he also has the cartoony braggadocious side of Lex Luthor as well, who goes out of his way to do things that he doesn't really need to do, or he'll but does it because screw you, that's why. I'm Lex Luthor, I'm a genius, you just don't understand why I'm doing it, but I am doing it for a reason. Okay, I'm smarter than you.
I'm also thinking, if we're comparing it to the political side and the political landscape, you have all of these politicians, one especially that comes to my mind, and many others, if you're American, even if you're not American. Anyway, and a lot of times, if you look at them, if you have a conversation with them, if you see a video of them, they're not that stereotypical evil, menacing figure that's mwahahaha wearing all black and they have that menacing smile. They're people who have that charisma, who maybe can joke a little bit, but for them it's all about ego, and that's the scary thing. They are able to do many dangerous things, sitting in their high castle on the sidelines, all with that charisma and personality, but it's all about ego to them. So, okay, maybe Lex Luthor in this movie was a little more menacing than it might seem on the surface.
I just appreciate that he's every version of Lex Luthor. He's the Golden Age Lex Luthor, who's a mad scientist. He's businessman Lex Luthor, who is the same type of guy who becomes president at one point in the comics, which that could be really cool if they do that storyline when Lex was president, because that was really cool. The Justice League cartoon even did that, where Lex was president, and I think that could be really neat to have.
And I
Lex
mean, he's getting locked up in this movie, so as we've seen in real life,
yeah, it's not gonna stop him from getting office.
Yep, you can be a felon.
And I think Nicholas Hoult does a great job. He's the right level of menacing and scary, but he's got a few jokes in there, but not jokes that don't feel like it still fits his character. Like, he's still petty enough to throw pins on the ground when he's upset, and then like when they put him back up on the desk, he knocks them back down.
I know, I love that.
He's like, pick those up, you bitches, pick them up.
What I like also about Nicholas Hoult's character is that he gives a little bit of Jason Momoa vibes in Fast and the Furious 10, where he just kind of saunters.
Why did I know you're about to say that movie?
Because he does. He kind of saunters around like this is Lex Luthor, which a lot of people, like I said, has the charisma, has the charm. He walks around in the nicest. But like I said, he's like just crazy, creating also just chaos with the knocking down of the pens, where he's just like. And does he? They pick it up and then he does it again, and it's that like humorous moments of like you're a powerful man. You literally created a robot that's like actually kicking Superman's ass. But when he does win a little bit, you go and knock pens on the ground. He has the chaoticness, the chaotic evil to him, and I like how he also admits that it is all ego for him.
Yeah, it's all
like.
envy.
Yeah, and he's like, Superman, don't you want to know how I did it? How I did everything? And Superman's like, no, I don't care. And he's like, you have to want to know. I need to tell. He needs to tell him. He needs the validation of Superman. Defeating him and the validation that Superman knows how he defeated him. He needs to have like villain story.
They maintain his comic origin too of why he hates Superman, which I think a lot of movies try to complicate it and make it more, except the early movies, but the early movies don't even bother. Like the Richard Donner movies, he just hates Superman for no reason. He just doesn't like him. But I love that this movie is like, no, we'll tell you why, but it's simpler than you think. He's just jealous. He's mad that I've attained all this intelligence. I've gotten all these degrees. I've built this company. I've become my own made man with just my two hands, and here comes this alien who just shows up with a smile and some muscles, and you guys worship the ground he walks on. That's bullshit. Like, I hate that. I should be the one you worship. I should be the one you appreciate. And I love that they maintain that, and he admits that. Like, it's not, they don't try to do a thing where he's like, oh, I'm not envious of you, Superman. I'm better than you. He's like, no, you're right. I'm jealous, but fuck you. I don't care.
I mean, in all fairness, no, yeah. If some guy looking like Superman came from the sky right there, like, yeah.
I thought that was cool. I appreciated that. Talking about the Justice Gang, if we're going to talk about anybody, we have to talk about easily the character I think is the only one I honestly feel like needed to be in this movie. The other two could have kind of not been in it, and it wouldn't have changed much. Mr. Terrific. who's the breakout character everyone is talking about right now because of this movie. I'm like I said, I'm glad. I love Mr. Terrific, and I love that he's finally getting a shine, because much like how in the MCU people are like, oh man, sure, he's so cool because she's so smart and she can do all these things. Mr. Terrific in the DC universe is the third smartest man. The only people that stand above him is, I think, like technically like Lex Luthor and Batman. I think they're the only two. But behind those two is Terrific, Mr. Terrific, whose real name is Michael Holt. But he's super cool, and I love that he gets his shine mostly because also Eddie Kathegi, who plays him, for him this has been a really like big revelation, because he said in an interview, I don't have the exact interview, I was trying to look for it, but he said in an interview that basically, I don't know if you guys know, but he was in another superhero movie. It was X-Men First Class. And in X-Men First Class, he plays Darwin, who is a mutant whose power is to adapt to anything to survive. So if he's stranded in the desert, his body will like kind of become like a photosynthesis machine and just absorb the sunlight to keep himself alive. If he's underwater, he'll grow gills so that he can breathe underwater. Like his body is built to be adaptable to any and every situation so that he won't die. Well, in X-Men First Class, he's the first to die, actually.
The first one to die.
First one to die. Because he gets like an energy ball put in his mouth, and then he explodes. And
couldn't adapt to that, huh?
That's the thing. He should have. But Eddie Kathegi makes a point of apparently he was a little pissed about this, but the producers or somebody on the writers team or somebody promised him like, no, check it out. We just killed you off for this movie, but you're gonna be back in another movie in a different way. We're gonna rope you back in. He's like, all right, I guess. And needless to say, that never happened. Darwin never came back. And they have plenty of movies to do it. Because after X-Men First Class, they did X-Men Days of Future Past, they did X-Men Apocalypse, and they did X-Men Dark Phoenix. All movies that take place in that same continuity, no Darwin. So, needless to say, he was pissed. Because for him, it was like, that's when the superhero movies started making their like, it was the superhero renaissance. Superhero movies finally figured it out. Everyone was making big money in superhero movies, so he thought he had made it. And then nothing. So being in this movie, not only does he get to finally get his shine, because he's in a lot of the movie, but also he gets to play this really cool black character who's like super smart. In fact, he's the smartest man in the room, kind of, because even Lex Luthor in this is kind of, he's slipping. But Mr. Terrific's like, I got this shit. And also, he's a hero that they are going to do more of. In fact, they've talked about possibly giving him his own HBO Max series of just hanging out with Mr. Terrific. I don't know if they would call it Mr. Terrific or call it The Terrifics, because he did have a comic called The Terrifics in which he teamed up with, it was like him, Metamorpho, and some other people. Like he made like his own little super team. But yeah, he's super cool. He's a really cool character. And he also said he enjoyed having to do the scene in which he pushes the Lex Luthor dude out of the way, who's like, I can help you turn off the pocket universe, and then he pushes him out the way, and he's like, I'm goddamn Mr. Terrific, and he does the thing. Apparently he told that actor before he did it, like the scene just said he moves him out the way, so he talked to the actor and he was like, hey, so his exact words were, listen, so I'm gonna mush your face. Just know that. I'm going to mush your face. And the actor was like, okay, cool, let's do it. But they didn't tell James Gunn that's what he was going to do. And so that's how he did the scene on the first take. And James was like, yes! Again! Do it again! So what do you guys think of Mr. Terrific? And Eddie Kathegi's performance of Mr. Terrific?
Go ahead, Jonathan.
I thought he was good. He was giving me his line delivery. He was giving me very much blaxploitation, which which I liked. But he was obviously a very integral part of the story.
I'm sorry, when you said that, I thought of Samuel Jackson's line. What was it? Black Girl Power? Black Girl Magic? Samuel Jackson said that in it was in the one with the three women. The Marvel movie. Oh my god.
Oh,
It didn't come out that long ago.
The Marvels?
Oh, Black.
They were
Is it
not
Marvel?
Black. The one that flopped, right? Are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
Marvels.
Marvels.
I know what you're talking about. They were not
all
all
black.
black. One was black. One
No. He said it to the black character.
Okay, there we go.
Who she?
Wait, is it? It was the Marvels?
It's the Marvels. Yes.
Oh, I thought
Don't
you were thinking of
yell at me.
the one.
Not you. Yelling at him.
Don't yell at me. The one with, I thought you were talking about the one with Dakota Johnson and Sydney Sweeney. What was that one called?
You talking about Madam Web?
Yeah.
Samuel Jackson in that
movie?
I don't. How would I know? Who saw? I didn't see it.
I saw
Who
that.
saw it?
I watched it when I was on the cruise ship because that was like the only thing to watch. First of all, I will never. The Pepsi. Pepsi was like. Yeah, that's great. I love hamburgers and hot dogs.
Also, well, a movie we were gonna review at one point, Jurassic World, the most recent Jurassic World, was guilty of this. The Altoid scene, which I didn't realize. You guys saw Jurassic World, right?
I want to go see it, but
Honestly,
but people have spoiled it.
Oh.
I want to go see it.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I thought I was about to. I thought you guys were about to be like, yeah. But you guys.
No,
were
so I've heard so many
Alex
people
is
talk
excited.
about it. I'm excited to still see it, but every time
No,
I literally bought a ticket for it, something has come up, and I'm just like, well, okay. Like my AMC stubs keeps thanking me for watching Jurassic World, and they're like, "Would you like to rate the movie?" I'm like, "I didn't get to go. I haven't gone yet."
Damn, you must really like Jurassic World, huh? 2 times.
And honest to God, no. It
Keep
has been
buying
4
tickets.
times. 4 times.
You got.
I tried to go watch this movie 4 times. The most recent one was just yesterday. I tried to go watch the movie, and then my sister-in-law was like, "Hey, I picked up some hours. Can you come watch the dogs at nighttime?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Who needs to see Jurassic World? I get to spend time with the dogs. I love them. I understand how my tone is sounding right now, but understand I do love these dogs. But this is the 4th time I've tried to see this movie."
I thought it was good.
Go on.
I thought it was good. I thought the movie was good. It was a fun one, and you watch it in IMAX if you can, or Dolby at least.
I've been trying to watch it in 3D.
Okay, yeah, but you'll know it's the scene that I was trying to refer to, the Altoid scene. It's towards the beginning of the movie, and you'll know it when it comes up because Jonathan Bailey has like a 1 minute long moment with Altoids, and it's very obvious that it is a product placement.
There was a Korean drama I just saw recently where the character at the beginning goes to McDonald's, and it's a straight 1 minute like commercial for McDonald's. Because you see him carry the tray, put it down. It's still all focused on the tray, putting the straw in, unwrapping everything. He gets a call, but it's still front and center. The food's right there. McDonald's, like everything. I was like, this conversation could have happened anywhere, but this man's just sitting there with the McDonald's food perfectly unwrapped, drinking everything. And I'm like, you even like followed the tray more than you followed the guy. I was like, I've never seen some blatant. Well, I guess I've never caught it before because I don't know a lot of Korean products, but I caught it with the American product right away. But yeah, I do want to see that movie. For the 5th time, I'm gonna try. 5th time's the charm.
That's the charm.
Not even, I could show you guys 4 times I've tried to see this movie.
You done used all your 4 movies for the week for last week.
Honestly, you get the 3 tickets for every week. One of those tickets has each been for Jurassic World since it came out. I think one week has been 2, but every week I at least try to see it 1 time. I'm scared to try to go see it for the 5th time, and then suddenly that's because there's been like Mount Rainier, where we live, is, starting to shake a little bit, I try to go see Jurassic World. That's when it finally erupts. I caused the volcano to erupt. I'm just trying to see Jurassic World.
You're trying to see Jurassic World? People are waiting for GTA 6? It's not a fair world.
I just want to watch a movie.
All right. Mr. Terrific.
All right.
I gave my thoughts.
I feel like, did I cut you? I liked him. I don't know too much about Mr. Terrific. I thought at first, I was gonna ask you, is Mr. Terrific part of the Fantastic Four? That's Mr. Fantastic.
That's Mr. Fantastic. Although there was a time they did try to do a comic, the Terrifics was supposed to be like a Fantastic Four clone, basically, but starring Mr. Terrific and other DC characters. Metamorpho is practically the Thing, and I forget the other two characters, but they were basically like DC's attempt to make a Fantastic Four, because you have Mr. Fantastic, Mr. Terrific, both are really smart, both are basically scientists, so on and so forth. So the difference is Mr. Terrific doesn't have powers. His only power, quote unquote, is that he has what's called what is it called? It's called rapid absorption, or a meta avant brain. So basically, he can absorb information really fast. So he can read a whole book on quantum physics in 3 hours and retain all that information. So it's why he's so smart. He everything he studies, he retains it, and he retains it really quickly. So he's studied a bunch of things on engineering, mathematics, science, so on and so forth. So that's why he's so smart. But he's not smart he was just born that way. So it's kind of a weird thing where it's he technically has a power, but technically not, because it's just a human. He just has a human, above average human ability that regular humans could maybe have if they were also born that way, but most aren't. So he's special in that way.
Okay. Anyway, I liked him. I thought he was very interesting, and compared to he was quite the opposite of Guy, which I like how they made him, where he was very, I'm not saying I'm helping, but I'm gonna help in a kind of way. And I really liked the fact that he had a force field around Lois when they had that big fight. I thought that was really interesting. And it also gave her a point of view where she's in the middle of all this chaos and battle and fighting, which she's not really, or what it appears, she's not really used to being in the middle of all this fighting and chaos. And she gets to see from kind of another point of view of how people, and also in that base area, there are these people dressed in Hawaiian shirts that just look like normal computer programmers. They were trying to fight a man who has floating tech balls around him. What do you think you were going to do? What fight did you think you were going to win? Honest to God. I got the super soldiers and the things and the robot things, but who were you trying to fight? Matt from IT, what were you trying to do?
I would have loved... If I would have ever been so lucky to have auditioned for this movie, I would have loved to play one of those tech computer workers for Lex Luthor.
I would definitely. Nope, I was gonna make a dirty joke, but let's move on.
A dirty.
Dude,
awesome.
Okay, so today at my office, we got these. Huh?
That's the Terrifics. There you go.
Okay. First of all, I need you to look something up for me and show it. They're gummy popsicles, which aren't bad, actually. Gummy popsicles
I've heard of this.
You wiggle when you, so they're actually pretty good. However,
the trolley one, I've seen those.
Different. That one, they wiggle and they have a gummy texture. However, they have a bit of a phallic reminder when they wiggle. So
are people
what?
Is this a trend? Are people doing nasty stuff with these popsicles?
They're not doing nasty stuff. No nasty stuff was done. See, that in an office full of people was the best thing ever. And I will say, and I don't know how to say this, and I apologize because my mother does listen to this podcast for the next sentence I'm about to say. After a few sucks of the popsicle, there is a texture that has like a mouthfeel to it. You have a mouthfeel when you get to a certain part of the popsicle that can be familiar to certain people. And it is just really weird. And in an office, we had a bunch of people try it. And it was just like one of those moments where like, you cannot not make a dirty joke. There's nothing you can say that'll like sound okay when you're trying to describe eating the gummy popsicle.
It would be more weird if you were just eating it normally, like it was nothing.
Yeah, it was weird because you would just make eye contact with people. Yeah.
This girl knows what's going on.
Wow. All right.
It's a mouth. I recommend it for you guys. It's actually pretty good. We got the cherry lemon. Yeah, because like, when you touch it, it's
damn,
she's still going.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I recommend it for all. That's my product placement. I'm not getting paid.
This is why once you become a content creator, you got to be careful because there will be screenshots. There will be screenshots of you. Matter how
somebody else who wasn't there was like, "Hey, you guys should have taken a recording because it would have been funny." And I was like, "Nowhere do I want a recording of me sucking on a popsicle, let alone this gummy one." And he's like, "Fair enough, you're right." I'm like, humor aside, I'm not having that inappropriate stuff. Again, my mother watches and listens to me. And then he's like, "Oh, you guys should have just done the audio of like the conversation we had." And I'm like, again, man, we were sucking on popsicles. Absolutely not was I going to have any of that audio as well. And he's like, "Fair enough. I'll wait till I'm back in the office and we can try it again." And I'm like, cool. But yeah, I was like, nowhere will I want anybody recording me sucking a popsicle. For one. That's just going to mess. Just no. It's not inappropriate, but it's like people make it inappropriate. But anyway, that is what goes on in a normal corporate office. Just dirty jokes.
Wait, but what did that have to do with the movie?
I was going to make a dirty joke.
Jonathan, what half of the conversations we've had in during this review that it has to do with the movie?
No, I said I was going to make a dirty joke after you said something about Lex Luthor. And I'm like, well, but then I was like, my mother listens to this. And then I was like, well, I already talked about, being Clark Kent's harem, which like...
Maybe
that's at least relevant to the movie.
maybe at the Daily Planet, these were the conversations they were having. Maybe somebody brought in some of these gummy pops, and they made the same jokes.
This is what happens at a corporate office.
Mm-hmm.
At any office, you get too close and their boundaries start getting blurred with your coworkers when you spend too much time with them.
Well, speaking of
we're
jokes,
the late. Oh, I was about to say.
Listen, we would have been through half this cast. We got to talk about goddamn Dora the Explorer, okay? As Palomar said, we got to talk about Guy Gardner. They're the other members of the Justice Gang. We don't have to talk about them much.
Dora the Explorer?
She played Dora the Explorer.
Mm-hmm.
What?
And then the one we watched.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
she's done much better things since then. She also this year has been a weird year for her.
Hey, Dora was greatness.
I know
Dora was great, but she's also been in Last of Us Part 2, or Season 2 rather, earlier this year as Dina, and then she's in this, and she'll also be in Peacemaker also as Hawkgirl as well, in a cameo role. I don't think she's going to be doing much, but she's in the trailer of Peacemaker Season 2 as like a person like who's just there.
She was.
But-
She was also in Alien Romulus. That's
And
right.
she's in Alien Romulus last year as well.
And Madam
She's-
Web.
Yep. So she's been busy, good and bad. Hot Girl's a weird one for me because first of all, I don't know which version of Hot Girl there is. There's like a lot of versions. One of the things that's her Hot Girl and Hawkman both is that they've been reincarnated a bunch of times. So there's a lot of Hot Girls and there's a lot of Hawkmen. Although she has said the version she would like to be is Shira, who is easily, I would say, probably the most famous Hot Girl. But she says that she wants to be like that version of Hot Girl. Shira is really cool. Shira Sanders Hall. She's a really cool character. But I know the real reason she wanted to be Shira because many people know who Shira's love interest is, which is John Stewart Green Lantern. And we already know who's playing John Stewart Green Lantern upcoming in the Lantern series. So if you need a reminder, allow me to refresh your memory. It's this guy, Aaron Pierre. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, we see you, girl. You just trying to get you some of Aaron Pierre," because they have a very strong romance of John Stewart and Shira Hall. You're not slick. We know you see the muscles. We know what you got going on, Isabella.
There's nothing wrong with surrounding yourself with muscular men.
He's with Tiana Taylor now.
He is with Tiana Taylor now.
Oh, good for him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's funny. But nonetheless, in this movie, Hot Girl is she's got a lot to do. Surprisingly, I thought they were going to do a lot more with her, but she kind of is just there to tell a few jokes and swing a mace. She does kill a guy, which I think is interesting that she kills the Baravian president.
Oh yeah, she just dropped.
And nobody brings that up. Nobody's like, how
There's
did you drop that guy?
There's literally times, or not time, but space was splitting in half. Like, I think there's more important things to focus on. Like, why the buildings didn't match up.
And also, this is another case of, remember when we watched, was it the most recent Fast and the Furious? And we saw that bomb roll down that city, that hill of the city, caused all that destruction, and then they had the nerve to say no casualties. I find it hard to believe that this thing ripped through the city and not even a squirrel got harmed.
No. People died. It's just Superman saved the people. He saved a few people, but people
But
did
they-
die.
He's talking about
But-
Fast and the Furious X.
No, I was also talking about Superman. But
Both of them.
they don't that too. But they don't make it obvious that people, because they make it seem like, oh, he's saving every last person.
Yeah,
down
but
to that lady.
Fast and
down
Furious
to
went
that
out their
lady-
way to say nobody died. This movie's like, look, let's
They imply
just
it.
not mention the dead people.
They imply
let's
it.
focus on the people that lived.
Because that lady that was about to get crushed by the building, she was on the bridge and her car wouldn't start.
Would you get out of your car?
Right. They implied that she was the last remaining person who needed to flee the zone in order to be safe.
And also, Mr. Terrific did probably send the evacuation notice early, so they had time to get to one side. Because he knew. He was at ground zero. He saw it
No,
happen.
it was the whole city, though. It wasn't just one side. It was the whole city. Because then the rip started going to the next city. And it was just some people chilling on a rooftop. Also, if you hear that the world is literally splitting apart one city away from you, I'm going to leave. If I hear down in Renton, the world has opened up into this like chasm of like particles and a black hole, I'm going to leave. I'm going to try to go more north. I'm going to try to do something. I'm not just going to sit here in Seattle when Renton's going down. Why? Why would I do that? No, that's not smart. Like, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to go.
But I would say Guy and Hot Girl are weird for me because I feel like Mr. Terrific could have been here, done all the things he did, and Guy and Hot Girl being here wouldn't have changed much. Outside of them saving that country, which even then I feel like if you rewrite that script and make it where Superman saves them and then deals with the pocket universe stuff. It does the same thing. I do like somebody, like I was watching Amanda the Jedi's video on Superman, like her review, and she said something that I thought is like, I can see the take, is the idea that because earlier in the movie Lois goes to the Justice Gang to be like, hey, you need to help Superman, and they're like, no, we don't wanna. What if he's evil? We don't know. But then seeing how the whole country of Baravia is cheering for Superman inspires them to be like, you know what? Nah, we should do something. Superman inspires hope in these people, and we should aspire to do the same as superheroes. And so I like the idea that Superman inspires them as well to be better heroes. But I feel like because we don't spend enough time with them, that doesn't land quite the same. Like, I can believe that, but we don't spend enough time with them for that to actually feel like what's happening, as opposed to just, look, we need to set up these scenes so you guys know that the Justice League is going to be cool when they eventually become the Justice League and stop being the Justice Gang. So
was that like a thing in the comics, the Justice Gang?
As far as I know, no. But the I do like, we go to the Hall of Justice, and on the wall you can see a mural that is in reference to the Justice Society of America, which is really cool. And which this is something we missed because we got into the movie a little late, so we missed some of the opening text explaining some of the backstory of this universe. But
oh yeah, it was. Well, did you find out later?
Yeah, that like metahumans have been around for like 300 years. 300
years.
Yeah.
And then 30 years Superman landed on Earth or whatever. 3 years ago he won his, or started fighting crime or whatever. 3 months ago he lost his first battle. 3 days ago, something else happened. 3 minutes ago, something else happened. And so it's like three.
I won't lie, I probably wouldn't have read that even if we were on time.
But
I was like losing focus. I was staring at my little Lego back behind me. I was like, it's so cute. My Adderall pills are in there.
But like 300 years, like there's been 300 years of metahumans, and so that leaves room for there to be a Justice Society of America, who were like essentially the Justice League before the Justice League. But they have people on there like Alan Scott, Green Lantern, Jay Garrick, the Flash, is it Sandman, I think, all these characters, and then like, and now they're probably old, so the Justice Gang is in there, but the Hall of Justice looks pretty empty. So I'm thinking this is the setup for them to start the Justice League. And if they do it right, it could be Justice League International, which could be fun. Which does have Guy Gardner on the team. But yeah, no, I don't know where the Justice Gang thing comes from. I think it's just a fun joke in this movie in particular. So I don't know. We'll see. It's just one of those things where I'm like, if I have negatives, this is where it starts. There's a lot of characters in this movie, and they really do soak up some time from Superman. And not all of them are characters that feel like they needed to be here to tell this story. But, because I still like the movie, but that's just my 2 cents on that. But yeah.
And going into that with our time and everything, what are your final thoughts on Superman? And what's your grade?
Like, I give this movie, listening to you guys talk about this movie has up, because I was prepared to give this movie a little bit, like a bit of a B+, because we didn't get into it too much, but I think there's also a little bit of, some of the action's a little frantic. I love how fast it moves.
The reverse Malcolm and Marie effect.
But there's times where it's hard to see. We didn't really get into the editing and the pacing of this movie. But honestly, thinking back and listening to you guys talk about it more and more it makes me actually up the grade a little bit and give it I think I'm going to give it an A-. I think this movie is pretty solid. It's really fun. It knows what it is. It's very comic book. I appreciate that James Gunn is treating his stuff, because he did the same thing with Creature Commandos as well, which is also supposed to take place in this universe. The animated series he had come out earlier this year. But the idea being that these characters, we're just jumping in. We're not doing the Marvel thing of like every hero has to, before we get Superman, like before we get the Justice League movie, we got to get a Mr. Terrific movie, and we got to get a Guy Gardner film, and we got to get a Hot Girl movie, and then we'll do the Justice League. We're not doing all that. Look, we're jumping in. These characters are here. You will catch up, which I think is really interesting, because that's how comic book fans have always experienced these heroes. Like, I've always told people when they want to get into comics, how do I do it? Just crack one open. And if it's crack one open of a story you like, or if the story you've heard is good, and as you're reading it, if there's characters you don't know, go find the books that are about those characters and learn. And then by the time you start, and there will be characters in there you don't know in those books. So then you're going to crack open another comic to find out who this person is. And it's just going to snowball into you knowing the entire DC universe, the entire Marvel universe, whatever. Because that's how you grow your comic book interest. You just keep reading until you you really find your niche, and you finally are kind of in the place where you feel comfortable. And James Gunn's treating these movies like that, of like, look, the universes start, Batman already exists, Wonder Woman's out there somewhere, Flash is around. Like I'm not doing introductions. I'm worried about just making good movies with these characters. And I'm sorry if that's a little bit of a whiplash, but it is what it is. And I appreciate that. I think it's different. I think it's nice. And it's cool that we still get to hang out with some of these characters we don't get to know as much, like Mr. Terrific. So overall, I think this movie is great. It has a great message. I love all the Easter eggs. I love some of the breadcrumbs they've put in place for the movie. But at the same time, the few things that hold this movie back is just the fact that there's a lot of characters in this movie that kind of weigh it down, throws off the pacing at times. And sometimes it's hard to follow the tone of this movie, because sometimes it's a little tonally inconsistent. But these are very minor things. I think overall, and this is me just thinking with a critical brain, as far as fun factor, if you're like Superman and you like comic book movies, or if you're just tired of the same old, go watch Superman. You're going to have a fun time. It's going to be a blast. I'm going to watch it again at some point in theaters, like when I have some free time. So yeah, can't recommend Superman enough. Go check it out.
What about you, Jonathan?
Let's say
I
thought you were gonna pass it to somebody.
Yeah, we usually pass it to people.
I can't pass it to somebody. I'm scared y'all gonna go into a whole other conversation. We're not gonna get done with the damn review.
We didn't say anything. Go ahead, Jonathan. I'm apparently doing. I don't like this, by the way. This weird thing I'm doing where I'm taking the lead on shit. That's next episode. That's gotta not be a thing.
We gotta go back.
We gotta go back.
First of all, side note, anytime you say hot girl, it sounds to me like hot girl, and I'm like, oh,
accent, man. I don't know what's going on. But it is hot girl.
I'm like, oh, Meg Thee Stallion is gonna be in the next movie. Like, I'm excited.
Girl Summer.
She was already in She-Hulk, and that was terrible. Please, Megan, if you are gonna do another cameo in a superhero movie, make sure they give you some real shit to do except twerk. Please. Let them give you lines, girl. You deserve better than that. You deserved better than that.
She did come into Love Island this season.
To do what?
Why you got beef with Meg?
I beef with Meg. I'm saying she deserves better than that,
all right,
too.
Tory Lanez.
All that damn drama on Love Island. All right, Megan Thee Stallion is better than that.
Focus, people. We're so close.
Don't you tell me to focus with gummy popsicles.
You want your toe with me. Jonathan don't live nearby, but you do.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, she came in. She hosted. Meg Thee Stallion came in. She talked to the women. She was like, "Hey, yeah," she sat down with them and everything. And then she hosted a twerking competition, a twerking challenge.
I made a joke that she twerked when you're like, "What did she do at Love Island?" I'm like, "She twerked." Come on, man. All right, that one. Come on, Meg.
But it was good. It
See what
was
I'm
good. I
saying?
enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
She's better than this. They're not letting her be the greatness that she is. They keep thinking like we gonna get like we're just gonna get her to twerk. She is more than just that, okay? She made a whole movement of the hot girl summer. WAP is still a classic. Y'all put some respect on her name.
So, Jonathan, what did you think of Superman, and what was your grade?
One last thing about Meg Thee Stallion. If they had like
I tried twice.
If they should have like some sort of like rapper girl superhero. That would be really cool. And they probably do. You probably know about her, Jerome.
The closest I can think of is there is a pop star in the X-Men called Dazzler, who's a character that still existed since the 80s, and she's supposed to be like, her thing is that she like basically, I think like reverberates the air or whatever to make music in the air with her powers. She's a pop star superhero. That's her whole thing. Like that's her whole thing, is that Dazzler is a superhero who is a pop star. That's it.
Okay, I'd like to see that. Finally, to my thoughts on Superman, I probably give it an A- as well. I enjoyed it. I had a good time, barring the in theater stuff. Again, I really liked. I thought David Corenswet is a great Superman. I feel like he fit the bill perfectly, and I think all the cast really did their job, and I think they all did an amazing job. Like I mentioned earlier, would have liked to see just a little bit more villainy, I guess, in Lex Luthor. But I can see how, I can see why they chose to make his portrayal how it was in the film. I appreciated that they did. It was pretty blatant, the politicalness of it all in the movie. I appreciated that they decided to make a statement and create a message through this movie. Overall, I just had a good time. I enjoyed it. I sat there. I laughed. I didn't expect to laugh as much as I did at this movie. Which was very fun. I also appreciated that the movie I didn't have to squint at to watch because half of it took place in the dark. It was, you could clearly see everything that you were watching on screen, and I appreciated that much of the movie took place in the daytime because you don't often see that in these movies.
Mm-hmm.
You could actually see the fighting going on versus just hearing a bunch of punching noises. And Alex, what are your final thoughts on the film and grade?
Going on really quick about how a lot of the fighting was in the daytime. The fighting that took place at nighttime, the poster of where he was originally putting on the first releases, when he was putting on his boots and there was the colors of purple and red behind him, and people were like, oh, he's very feminine now or whatever. In the movie, there is a nighttime scene where the Justice Gang is fighting an alien, and Lois is like, are you going to help with that? And Clark's like, no, it's just an interdimensional alien. It's like nothing. Even in that scene, the alien's glow, which is this bright purple glow, lights up the room. It gives this effect of showing the gloom Superman is feeling by meshing his colors of blue and red together and showing this conflict even through lighting. And I thought that was really cool. A lot of the lighting in this film was used by what is considered natural light because it's always sunny, and it gave such a beautiful contradiction in a way to what was going on with Superman. Because even as the movie progressed, the weather did not darken, the mood did not darken. It showed that the world, although affected by Superman, not everything was affected by Superman. The world still continued onward, even as he was going through this moral crisis. Even though he needs to save all these people, the world still goes on, even before he came. And I don't know if that was an actual thing they were trying to do, but that was something I did take away from this film that I really liked. and saying to your point of like I didn't have to squint at anything. The only times this movie was in slow motion was when he was saving a squirrel or saving a human, you know. And they slowed down to show how fast he was, which was great. I actually paid attention. I had a lot of fun. It was beautifully done, I believe. And I think the fighting scenes, although a little chaotic, were, you know, showed just how fast and quick he had to move, because not only was he fighting, he was trying to save a life, he was trying to save a squirrel. And Nicholas Holt's portrayal of Lex Luthor, I think, was a lot more fun and petty, and it showed that, you know, it was about envy, it was about jealousy. He wasn't doing this because he thought Superman was a threat or he wanted more. He was just like, wanted everything Superman was, he wanted to be. I gave this movie actually an A, which I'm surprised even that I would do that, because like I'm really outspoken about not liking Superman, mainly because of one, how overused he is, and two, just like the constant portrayal of him now where he's like all dark and sad and like whatever. I'm like, no, Superman is literally about hope, about the better tomorrow, about doing everything he can for justice and for peace, and in the end saving a life instead of destroying a monster or defeating something. It's saving, you know, it's justice, truth, you know, and all that. And just, this was the Superman I remember watching as a kid, which brought this huge nostalgia to me. It felt like, yeah, I get to see it on the big screen now. And I remember his last name, Corenswet. What was his first name?
David
Corenswet does a really amazing job. I love how kind of big he is, but he's not Henry Cavill big, where he's just like huge, but he is bigger than the average man, so I feel like he fit like perfectly for it. You know, Superman was white-chested and everything, but he didn't like overpower and overtower people. He fit in a little more normally and comfortably. And I liked how
I think he bulked up a lot for this movie.
Oh yeah, he had.
He did.
He was,
yeah,
he was,
but
I think he was definitely like a lot. He was
leaner,
a little more lankier. Yeah.
He was a little bit thinner, but like in Twisters, you can tell he's got like broad shoulders going on.
And also, the thing is that I think he, what helps is the suit. Henry Cavill's suit was very form-fitting. It was trying to like emphasize his size and his muscles. This suit is, while it fits him, you know, so it looks great on him, it's not like a tight, let me show off the abs and the pecs. Like, it's just a regular Superman suit. Like, it's not built for like it doesn't feel like spandex, which I think is kind of cool too. Like, I think the suit looks great in this movie. I like the S logo they chose, and I think it works. And same thing for Supergirl, because we get to see some of her costume as well, and I think it looks great.
I think all the costuming looks great. Nothing's over sexualized, which is great. You know, nothing's like too heavy on like, look at this like intense molecular pattern Superman has to make him even more indestructible or this or that. It's simply the costume, the nice bright red and blue costume, you know. And again, I enjoyed this movie so much more. And then Crypto was freaking adorable. Every time Crypto was on the screen, my heart melted a little bit more. So like, yeah, I ended up loving this movie so much that I would probably watch again. I would definitely. I've been recommending it, and it's amazing to me that I would watch another superhero movie again. So this movie holds as like a good solid A for me. And I think
it's cool.
Moving forward, I would love to see more of. Sorry, I was going to say moving forward, I would love to see more of James Gunn's superhero work like this. If this is what we get, not like super. It's late now. Suicide Squad, but more like the Superman movie. Moving forward,
I was gonna say it's also cool to see, and I've said this for years, that if DC could get their stuff together in regards to making like good superhero movies, it would push Marvel to make better superhero movies. Because the people who have been complaining, Marvel ain't been hitting for a while, I'm like, because they don't have competition. They think you'll watch anything, like, because they're like, we're Marvel. What are you gonna do? Go watch a DC movie? Oh wait, you can't, because they're not making movies. Well, now they're back to making movies again, and they're decent movies. And so Marvel's going to have to step their game up. And while I'm excited for Fantastic Four, and it looks good, and it looks like something different and fresh, after Fantastic Four, I don't know. I really don't. It's like the Wild West out here. So they better be delivering on quality because they're going to find themselves falling behind if DC is just putting out consistent quality. Because there was a time when DC was in charge of the superhero movie space. They were making the best films. And meanwhile, Marvel was like, I mean, I don't know. You guys like Ghost Rider, right? Here, have some Ghost Rider. Oh, y'all don't like that either? Okay, well.
I recently watched Ghost Rider. It is exactly what you would think you remember it to be.
Exactly. They're just like, well, what about, do you like Daredevil? Ben Affleck is here. No, you don't like that either? Okay. Well, what about Elektra? She was good. No? Okay. Just failure after failure after failure.
Did they make a Daredevil 2 with Ben Affleck? Or?
No. Elektra was the closest. It was a spinoff with Jennifer Garner reprising the role, but that movie was even worse than Daredevil. And it was like, stop! That's why when Iron Man came out, everyone was so surprised. Because it was like, first of all, nobody was asking for no damn Iron Man movie. That's for sure. Secondly, Iron Man? That's where y'all going next? It worked. And it just so happened that it was actually a very good movie. But I remember those days. That's why people have this revisionist history. Talk about Iron Man was the shit. I'm like, you act like y'all were excited to see Iron Man before it came out. Nobody was asking for that movie, and most people were like, I mean, it looks cool, but I mean, I guess I'll watch it. And then after that, so we'll see.
We gotta wrap this up. My phone's at 1%.
It'll be fine. It'll hold on to its charge.
Jonathan has to pee. My phone's at 1%.
Comment below, audience. Tell us what you think about Superman. Did you love it? Did you hate it? I'm trying to hold my friends hostage.
I just don't want my phone to die. It takes forever to wake back up.
Oh, mine does too. I get that.
Right? I want to watch TikToks in bed.
Comment below. Tell us what you think about Superman if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening to us on the podcast platform, the podcast catcher, whatever it's called, send us an email, send us a link, hit up our social medias, comment below, tell us what you think about Superman. But as we do with every episode, before we end it, socials. Alex, where can people find you?
You can find me at Alex and Nobody on Instagram and on TikTok, as well as the podcast TikTok, where I post clips of episodes we have done, topics we may do, and shows and movies that I am currently watching myself, or asking for opinions on movies or shows that I should be watching. Like I said, right now I'm watching a lot of K-dramas. Maybe I'll show you guys exactly what I'm watching. Can't understand half of what's going on because I keep looking at my phone, ironically. But it's still pretty captivating, so I'm going to keep moving forward with that. What about you, Jonathan? Where are we finding you?
You can find me at Jonathan Keys on Twitter, Instagram, wherever you please. You can follow us, The First Ones to Die, everywhere. You can email us, thefirstones2die@gmail.com. If you're watching us on YouTube, please give us a like and subscribe. If you are, oh dang, now I got thrown.
See what happens?
If you are listening to us on your favorite podcast audio listening platform, give us a 5-star rating and review. We would appreciate it a lot. Jerome, where can people find you?
You can find me at Not Jerome Rhett. And to reiterate, go on over to the YouTube channel and check out some extra content that you cannot get anywhere else on the audio streaming platforms. You can only get it on YouTube. We're talking gaming videos, we're talking vlogs, we're talking book reviews, mini reviews. There are things that we don't have time to do a whole podcast episode on, and so much more. Go on over there, check it out. It's a fun time. And also video versions of all of the podcast episodes, or at least the ones that we can remember or have time to edit. So check it out. Tune in next week for something. Could be K-pop Demon Hunters, could be something else. It's a busy summer. All right. A lot of movies are coming out. We're trying our best to keep up. It's been a rough few weeks. Give us a second. Okay.
I went to the ER. Be patient with
Exactly. You know what I mean? Alex nearly died for this podcast, but she's here. So give us a second. But we promise we'll be back again for something. But until then, have a good night, good morning, good evening, whenever you're listening to this. And we will catch you for the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.
We're gonna talk about all the things. We're gonna talk about Superman. We're gonna talk about
what cracked you up so much, Alex?
I want to know too. Like, why are you laughing?
It was the silence for some reason. My brain filtered in the silence right beforehand. I just started...
just tickled you. Just tickled you to Go on over to the YouTube channel at The First Ones to Die to see all the fun stuff we got going on here, like mini reviews, book reviews, gaming videos, vlogs, all types of stuff.
Please follow us at The First Ones to Die everywhere. Go ahead and give us a like and subscribe.